Hello, everybody. Okay, y'all have to let me know if you can hear me because I'm using a different mic. This is the first time I'm using it, so I'm not sure how it's working. So let me know if y'all can hear me, if this thing is working. Testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Okay, great. Am I sounding better than I usually do? Because this is a totally different mic. Okay, great. Y'all can hear me. Let's see who's in here. Ivy LaRue was the first. You win a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but you got a prize for being first. Hey, Sammy. Hey, adjusting my crown. Hello, everybody. Okay, so tonight we are continuing the discussion of the Nicki Minaj and Latto beef because the plot has thickened, y'all. Okay, listen, I was supposed to go live last night. I did promise I was gonna go live last night, so I'm sorry if anybody actually waited up for that. I didn't end up doing it because I had to work. I got home really late and I was tired. So I got home, I fell right asleep. I'm glad I actually waited because more stuff came out to talk about. So yeah. Jeffrey says what's going on. Okay, I'm not repeating that. But anyway, yeah. So I came across this article that I think it's on Yahoo News, and it really it shed some more light on this whole situation, and I'm like, whoa, all this stuff went down for nothing. Let me see if I remember how to share my screen. Hold on a second. You'll know I'm technologically challenged. Um I'm trying to share my screen without sharing too much of my business. Hold on. But while we wait, let me tell you all a joke, right? So just now, my son was helping me set up this mic, right? And he's like, "Why do you want to set up a mic?" I said, "I'm going live on YouTube. I wanna try it out." He was like, really? How many people? Because I had scheduled the live already. He's like, "How many people do you have in your live?" So we went to check. And there were like, I think 11 people waiting. And he's like, "Whoa, 11 people. Mom, you're famous." He thinks having 11 people waiting on your live is fame. Okay, your kids are so easy to impress. My son thinks I'm famous because 11 people listen to me. Um, I'm still trying to figure out how to share my screen. I completely forgot how to do this. Okay, great. I think I figured it out now. Right. So there's this article on Yahoo that breaks down this whole Nicki Minaj Latto feud. And a couple of things in it is really, really interesting. Let me see if I can find the particular. I don't want to read the whole thing because they're just like going through everything we already know. Um, they're addressing the part of it where what the hell? This article is so damn long. I'm trying to find the particular paragraph where they talk about where they the categories that they submitted their songs to for the Grammys. I should have like found this before I went live. I'm so like unprofessional. Okay. Okay, here it is. No, what the okay, y'all. Let me find the correct article. This is not even the article I was trying to show. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Um, hold on, bear with me. I pulled up the whole wrong article. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my god, oh my god. Right, okay, I found the correct one. Okay, so let's do this again. Let me just entertain you all with some humming while I do this all over again. Okay, great. Okay, now I'm ready. All right, so Yahoo has this article where they broke down the whole beef and how it started and all the tweets and everything that happened in between. But this part of it is really interesting because they're saying the whole beef blew up over nothing. Because at the end of the day, Latto's song Big Energy was not even submitted in the category that Nicki is like going off about. So they're saying, let me read this paragraph. However, Minaj's apparent belief that she was bounced out of rap in order to clear a path for Latto's Big Energy may not entirely hold water. It's not clear at all that Super Freaky Girl and Big Energy ever would have contended in the same category. Because while it's been rumored that Super Freaky Girl was originally submitted by Minaj's camp for Best Rap Performance, then rejected, Big Energy is not included in that category either. The Latto song is on the ballot under the separate category of Best Melodic Rap Performance. And here's where it gets complicated. Latto does have a song on the ballot for Best Rap Performance, but it's Sunshine with features by Lil Wayne and Childish Gambino. Latto also appears in that category for two songs on which she was the featured artist, Mind Your Business by Lakia and Booty by Saucy Santana. So while there is a Nicki versus Latto showdown potentially looming in the rap performance category, it will be for Do We Have a Problem versus Sunshine and was never destined to be a super freaky girl versus big energy matchup. Y'all. So all of this started because she felt like Lato's song should not have been submitted or kept in the category for best rap performance. All along, it was never even in that category. So all of this happened over nothing, over like a big misunderstanding. So Lato's song is in best melodic rap performance. It's not like a rappy rap song. So my question is, okay, did Nicki submit her song in that category or did she only submit it in the straight rap category? Did she submit it in melodic rap? So it's like you went off on this girl, you started this whole drama over nothing. Y'all, it's crazy to me. When I saw this today, I was like, whoa, whoa. All of this blew up for nothing, for absolutely no reason. Let me read some of these comments. Um yeah, Blue says Lato did nothing wrong, poor girl. Laura says, don't be embarrassed. We're just glad you're on YouTube again. No, that was embarrassing. I should have been better prepared. You all see why I take down my lives after? Like, all kinds of mess goes on when I try to go live. Somebody's telling me check my DMs. This better be important because now I'm pausing my life to go check my DMs. Let's see. This better be somebody messaging to tell me I won $1 million or some shit, interrupting my life to tell me go check my DMs. This better be good. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything in my DMs. But I'm seeing like there's a photo or something you tried to send, but it's still loading. So I'll get back to it when it loads. Okay, so Internet Princess says, whoa, she did all that hooting and hollering for nothing. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it really makes her come across as like she was just waiting. I mean, everybody was saying it's just submissions, it's not nominations. So even before everything is settled, even before, like actual nominations come out, if she had behaved like this after the nominations, fine. But this is just submissions, and you did all of this over submissions, and then it turned out to be something completely different. I would be embarrassed. Everything is lagging. Okay. Lakesia says Solato didn't know where her song was team submit, so it's possible she didn't even know what she was submitted for. So she's like in drama, windmilling, trying to defend herself, and she as well probably didn't even know what category she was submitted for. I saw this. Kersha says then she dragged NLE Chopper into it too. I saw a whole Denise says, I wish Super Freaky Girl was going up against Big Energy. Latto's song was big. You know, like Nicki is the bigger artist, but I really truly believe that Big Energy was the bigger song because y'all, Big Energy when it debuted on the bubbling under and it climbed. It grew in popularity like organically. And then the Mariah Carey feature just kind of pushed it even higher, even though it didn't get to number one. But it was like, y'all, that song is everywhere. It's I live in Trinidad and that song is always on the radio. I'm traveling in a taxi, that song is playing. It's inescapable. It's everywhere. You hear it in ads, you hear it everywhere you go. To be quite honest, I've heard Super Freaky Girl. I was in a taxi once. I heard it on the radio then. Where else have I heard it? I can't, I literally cannot think of anywhere else I've heard that song. And then people are saying they're comparing the two songs by saying, okay, well, Super Freaky Girl went number one and Big Energy didn't. So Super Freaky Girl is the bigger song. But they're not considering that Super Freaky Girl was not even predicted to go number one on the last day of the first tracking week. And then she released a remix at last minute, like literally last minute. And the remix pushed it to number one. Without that remix, Super Freaky Girl would not have debuted number one. And that's just facts. So, and then on top of that, she had like an a cappella version. She had the remix with Akbar V and all of them. Like there were so many gimmicks and antics to keep this song on the charts. All Latto had was herself and one remix with Mariah Carey. So I really do believe that that is the bigger song. It had more impact, like on the general public. Nicki's fan base mass bought and pushed her song. Latto doesn't have a big fan base like that. So the numbers that Big Energy did was from pure, genuine, general public love, loving the song. I really don't understand like how people could look at both. I'm not talking about which song is better, which song sounds better to you. I'm talking about which one had more impact on the public. Because I mean, like, you can either way, you could choose which one you like better. Music is subjective. People are going to like different things. So one person might find Super Freaky Girl is the better song. Somebody else might find, they enjoy Big Energy more. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking about what you like. I'm talking about which one actually had the bigger impact out in the real world. So I really do believe Big Energy was the bigger song. And if they were in the same category, Big Energy would have won. But I closed the Yahoo article already. I'm not going through trying to figure out how to pull it back up. But there was a part in it that said, basically, even if they were in the same category, neither of them would have won because there are even bigger songs in that category. So it's like you're up against people like Kendrick Lamar. He dropped like one of the biggest albums of the year. You are in a category with him, a lyricist, and you have these like pop rap songs competing with him. He has won like I think they said 14 Grammys in that same category. He is the big contender that everybody's expecting to win. So you have these two women bickering over whose song belongs in that category. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar was probably always going to win. So it's just like so nonsensical how this whole thing erupted. Like, yo, Yahoo was a bit shady for that because they were like, okay, so you're picking a fight over why is your song removed from this category, but you probably most likely were not going to win anyway. And then people are saying, putting her in a pop category pretty much guarantees that she won't win because there are bigger artists in the pop category. People like Adele, people like Beyonce, that she cannot win against. And I'm like, okay, but you are the queen of rap. You have a huge fan base that you wield. You wield their power. Like, your impact. You're not confident enough in your impact to go up against those people. They put Doja Cat in pop categories and R&B categories, and she dominates. Doja Cat won against people like Justin Bieber, people like BTS, and she thrives in pop and R&B categories with these poppy rap songs. So if Doja Cat can do it, you're telling me the queen of rap can't do it? So I don't think the category matters. It's just like, is this song any good? Is it better than who you're up against? That's just my opinion. Let me read some comments. S. Thomas says, all that rah-rah for nothing. Exactly. For nothing. All of this embarrassing beef it went on for hours. For nothing. Marie says the record labels pay and submit the songs for nominations, not always with artist knowledge or approval. I don't know how that works, but I would assume. I mean, if I'm an artist, I would like to have the final say. I would like to know like everything that is going on in that process. But then, I mean, they probably, just trust their labels, their teams to handle these things for them. They just like, okay, well, I trust that you are doing what is best for me. And they just relegate that responsibility to their labels. I would be a little more involved because I want to know everything. But I can understand how Latto would not have known which category she was submitted for if she just like, her label takes care of all those things. I see people saying this as well. Laura says maybe Nicki was just looking for an excuse to pick on Latto. I feel, I mean, Latto said that she's like, this is bigger than the Grammy categories because of our history, how we left things off. We did not leave things off on good terms. They weren't speaking, they were not friendly with each other anymore. And then here you go, pulling her into this conversation, your fans attacking her. Even Latto said she felt like this was not about Grammy submissions, this was about you finding a reason to like throw negative attention my way. Bougie says not won $1 million for real. Adjusting my crown says, will you allow us on to comment? Yes, I will. Just give me like 10 minutes to get the rest of my thoughts out, and then I will open up the chat for people to come on. Oh, somebody in my comments on the last live said, um, when the panel came on, they were hearing like somebody snoring. I think that was me. I was not snoring. I keep telling y'all I have like a sinus issue, so I'm like always sniffling. And I think, yeah, that's what she was hearing. So if you all are hearing something like snoring, I promise I'm not asleep. I'm just sniffling and dealing with sinus issues. Um, Yup. Denise says Nicki's still mad at Latto for being in Cardi's video and being on a song with icon Mariah. Um, I think like one of the messages where she was like that message where she was saying, would you and Bigfoot care, something like that. It's like she was trying to draw Latto into that beef, trying to like it's implied, it's not strictly said like, okay, well, if you want this feature you're going to have to like choose my side, but that's the implication behind it. Why would you even mention your beef with other people to this girl who is literally like your fan? She looks up to you as her idol, and you're mentioning this to her in a conversation where she's trying to work with you and get on a song with you, and you're telling her, okay, well, blah 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 about Bigfoot and whoever. That has nothing to do with her. And I really, really, really admire how Latto handled that comment. And she basically brushed it off and said, like, I'm trying to work with you. I don't care about any of this other stuff. But it's like, to work with Nicki, you have to care about that other stuff. Aisha says she wanted a problem with Latto since that Jason Lee interview, and she started it under the rose of the AMA category of her song. The Jason Lee interview, like, I feel two ways about it. Like, I get what Latto was trying to say, but I do feel like she was a little shady. I don't know if the shade was intentional, but it did come across a little shady because when she made, okay, I can understand when she's saying at first, for so many years it was just Nicki, and now these other girls are coming out and they're flourishing or whatever, whatever. Fine, because that's just true. But the gestures, the hand gestures she was making while she was giving that analogy, she was like, she. I wish I could show you. Like she had one hand on top, and she was like, "This was Nicki," and then she has her other hand below, and she's like, "And these were the other girls," and then she's like, "But now." And as she's doing that, her lower hand is raising and it goes above Nicki. So it did come across a bit shady because it's like she was saying, even though that is not what she said out her mouth, to me, like the hand gesture she was making, she was like saying, okay, now these other girls are rising above Nicki. her hand movements gave me that impression. And I don't think she realized that's what she was doing. I don't think that's what she meant. I don't think that's what she was trying to portray. She was just like, other girls are coming out and they're growing and they're thriving and they're coming up there too. But the way that second hand rose above the Nicki hand, it was a bit shady. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a bit like, I don't know if it was intentional, but I can see why Nicki would probably take offense to that. But then on the other hand, it's like, but that's what you came out doing to Lil Kim. You came out saying you can fill Lil Kim's shoes, telling her to move over, time to retire, hang it up, flat screen, that kind of stuff. And now that other girls are coming out and putting themselves on your level or above your level, you're mad. But that's what you did to the person who was there before you. So it's like everything has come full circle, and everything that she did to Lil Kim is happening to her now. The only difference is we are in like the age of social media. Lil Kim didn't have social media back then. Like, social media right now is the thing that is making these girls famous. They're becoming famous overnight from social media. You don't need a label anymore. You don't need a record deal. You could just like post a video of you rapping on YouTube, and it goes directly into the public hands, and then the public could decide what they like. Before, in like Lil Kim and Nicki's era, they had to be backed by a label. They had to have radio play and stuff to get their music out there. Now people don't need that. I feel like social media and the internet is the thing that kind of like changed the female rap game. So even though people are saying, okay, this wave of female rappers came about because of Nicki, she opened the doors, so I don't agree with that at all. I think social media is what opened the doors. Social media is what has these girls thriving right now. And in a way, it's like, it's half and half. I think social media is 50%. Cardi B is the other 50%. Because she was like, I think she's the first one that I know of. I could be wrong, but she's the first one that I know of that utilized social media and built a social media following, and then used that following to like propel her rap career. So she was like the first example of somebody successfully using social media to like, launch a rap career and make it to that level. And then people saw that example and everybody started following suit. So it's like, I think, it's half and half, social media and Cardi B's like example that caused this explosion of female rappers. It's not Nicki, because if it was Nicki, when Nicki debuted, people like to say, she showed that labels could invest in female rappers again, and female rappers could make them money and they could be successful. But if that was the truth, when she debuted, that explosion of female rappers would have happened sooner. It wouldn't have taken 10 years. The explosion happened within the past, let's say, 4 or 5 years. So yeah, and that's just my thing. Let me read some more comments. I know sometimes I ramble and I feel like if I'm like just ranting to myself, and then I remember, oh shit, I'm on live. People are listening. So let me read some comments. Boss Lady says the Daily Beast went in on Nicki today. I think the whole world is tired of her shenanigans at this point. Yeah, I did see that article where there was a headline, something like how Nicki became a 40-year-old bully, and I was like, oh my god, that's harsh. And they really, really went in. Y'all, if you have not read that article, I'm not gonna bother to pull it up, but if you haven't read it, take a read. It's quite harsh. But it's well deserved if you ask me, because it's like at some point people have to realize, if you're always in drama, if you're always in beef, there's always some sort of controversy happening involving you. Everybody's like everybody can't be the problem. Everybody cannot be that's unrealistic. At some point you have to do some self-reflection and like, you know, examine what is my role in all of this. Maybe I did something wrong, but I don't think she or her fans have that, capacity to acknowledge that she does anything wrong. They believe she's 100% right 100% of the time. Um Jeffrey says, watch the Grammys snub Nicki for all this. She wasn't going to win anyway, even if she was nominated, no matter the category. Now, I don't think she's not going to win anything. I think she was not going to win for Super Freaky Girl, but she has other songs that are nominated in the rap category, in the best rap performance category. I think she has Do We Have a Problem? Um Blick Blick is nominated. What else? There's a couple of her songs. The recent one that she did with Young Blue is nominated. So she does have multiple chances of winning a rap category. But the reason why she's like so angry and upset about Super Freaky Girl not being in that category is because she thinks that's her most successful song this year. I mean, it kind of is, but it's like she thought that's her only chance of getting a Grammy. Never mind that she's nominated for so many other songs. She put like all her eggs in this Super Freaky Girl basket. That's the one she thought, was guaranteed. So now that it's no longer in that category and it's like in a more competitive category, she feels like she's being cheated out of a chance at winning a Grammy. But she has quite a few other songs that are nominated in rap categories. So I don't think, looking at that, I don't think it's something where, the Grammys are trying to cheat her. They're not trying to like undermine her or anything. This song literally is not uh what's the word? A rappy, to use her words. It's not a rappy rap song. Just like Big Energy is not a rappy rap song. I think everybody agreed with her on that comparison, but it's like we didn't know at the time that Big Energy was not even in that category. We all agreed that both songs are sort of like similar. So if whatever category they put hers in, they should probably put Big Energy in as well. But at the time when, all this was going down, nobody knew that it was a whole misunderstanding. Now that we know that Big Energy is not actually in that category, it makes a whole lot more sense. Big Energy is nominated for melodic rap. So that's why I'm wondering, okay, then why didn't Nicki submit Super Freaky Girl to melodic rap? Y'all, this stuff is just like, I think I'm a little obsessed with it. People people always tell me I'm obsessed with this topic. I think it's time I own it. Like I am obsessed with this topic. It's just so much happening. It's like a real life soap opera. Every day something new, some new element is added to this thing, and there's always something to talk about, and it's like, when will it end? But I mean, it makes for good content, so I'm not complaining. um I don't think No Name says if she was doing this to secure a submission, then the mission was failed. I don't think people are saying, the Grammys are going to snub her now for sure. And I don't know if the Grammys are like that vindictive and that like, to hold a grudge. I know she had her issues with them years and years ago. I don't even think the Grammys are the same people who make these decisions. The same people who made those decisions 10 years ago are the same people now. Like I don't know if the Grammys are still holding on to this grudge like that to deliberately want to sabotage her every single year. Like I don't know if I'm convinced of that. Can y'all hear me? Because I'm seeing people saying they're asking if my mic went out. Please don't tell me I've just been ranting for like 20 minutes and nobody's hearing me. Hello? Is anybody there? Okay, great. Um, what else did I want to say? Did I cover all my points before I bring people on? Hold on, somebody's messaging me. Let me just see what they're saying. Oh, this is a really good point. So this person who was interrupting my live had me thinking I won $1 million or some shit. They sent me something that says Nikki is mad because she passed on an opportunity to be on Big Energy, and now that same song could possibly win Latto a Grammy. So I mean that's part of it too. Like in the messages that Latto released, she was like, constantly asking Nikki for a feature, and she offered the Big Energy feature to Nikki, and I think Nikki never responded. So it's like, okay, you turned down this song to be on this song, and now the song blew up with Mariah Carey on it, and Mariah Carey is like her rival. They don't have a good relationship at all. So now you have to watch somebody who basically is your enemy be on this huge song that could possibly win a Grammy. So yeah, that's part of it too. Like maybe she once she saw that, she felt like, they're trying to deliberately undermine her to give Latto a Grammy, and she cannot handle Latto getting a Grammy before her with the song that she turned down. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine? I would be pissed at that too. Okay. Adjusting my crown says she has too much time on her hands. She's too accessible. I agree. Like somebody of Nikki's like status, she should not be out here beefing on social media, acting a fool. Like it kind of, to me, I don't think any celebrity should be out here acting like that. Like, you know, when I was growing up, celebrities were like, like they were mysterious. They were like, to me, celebrities back in my younger days were bigger than the celebrities we have now, because you didn't have as much access to them. So then when you did see them somewhere, it was like a huge deal. People would watch, like, Grammys, BET Awards, Oscars, those award shows, just to catch a glimpse of these celebrities. And now, because of the internet and social media, you're seeing them every single day. Every day they're doing something like out of the way. They're acting a fool online, and it's like you sort of lose, that kind of air of mysteriousness about them, because they're so accessible now. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's like celebrities now just come across as, regular people. Celebrities back when I was growing up were celebrities to me. Now they're just like regular people with money. They're literally regular people with money. And then you start to see them like, but wait, these people who you think have, perfect lives, and like they have everything a person could ever want, you start to realize, wait, these people's lives are just as messed up as the rest of us. And they've sort of lost that mystique about them. So yeah, I do agree that not just her, a lot of these celebrities are way too accessible. Now, I do think celebrities, they need to interact with their fans, because your fans pretty much make you who you are. They got you to where you are by supporting you, buying your music and stuff. So it is important to interact with your fans, but not in the way that some of these people do. Not like that. It's too much. It's too much. I miss when celebrities used to be like mysterious and exciting. When you see, like, and that's why these shows, like these award shows that people would watch, Grammys, Oscars, BT Awards, blah blah blah. they lost a lot of viewership because now people don't need to watch those things to see these celebrities. You're seeing them constantly on social media acting a fool. Why do I need to watch these awards? Um, all things Nella says, girl, you don't know the powers that be like we do here in America. They will snub her. Well, I guess I don't know anything about that. I would like to think I believe in the good in people, okay? And like I said, I've always found it strange that Nicki, she has such a huge impact on female rap culture that she's never won a Grammy. It is strange. But I mean, that could be explained, like in the years that she was nominated, there were just people with bigger songs in those categories that prevented her from winning, at those particular times. So it's like I don't know if it's a deliberate snub or if other people just beat her. So, but it is weird that with her impact and her status, that she has not won one of the biggest music awards there is, and all these other girls who are now coming out are achieving that before her. It is a bit crazy to me, not gonna lie. So maybe it is a deliberate snub. I would just like to think that people aren't that petty. Is the Grammys that petty? That's the big question. I saw this. Tiffany says Glorilla is trending because everyone is saying she's next for Nicki to attack. Um, you know, Glorilla, I think she's. I could be wrong, but I've never seen her like all these new female rappers. You see them in interview after interview talking about Nicki inspired them. Nicki's their idol. They grew up looking up at her, and I've never seen anything like that with Glorilla. If y'all have seen something like that, y'all can let me know. I have personally never seen Glorilla behaving that way. So I feel like she's not taking that route. A lot of the new female rappers are taking this route of praising Nicki, worshiping Nicki, so that they could get her approval to help their careers. So her fans will support them. I've never seen Glorilla doing that. So it's like she's taking the route of, you know what? I want to come up on my own strengths. I don't want to, like um, I don't want to have somebody's cosign to get me to the next level. I want to get to the next level on my own talent. I want to do it organically. That is how she comes across to me, and I completely respect that. But y'all, if y'all have seen her like doing these because Latto used to do it. Latto was like an interview after interview. I love Nicki. I love Nicki. I can't wait to work with Nicki. I stood in line with my Barbie chain on to buy Pink Friday. And she was like a bit overboard with it. I've never seen Glorilla behave like that. So we'll see. At least if she has never done that, that is something that can't be used against her in the future. So like Nicki can't use it to throw in her face like, you used to be a fan, you were a barb and you switched and blah blah blah, because she likes to do that. Just recently when this new girl Ice Spice started hanging out with Cardi, posted up with Cardi, Nicki posted something like um she checked her DMs and all these girls were barbs or whatever. So it right around that same time. So it's like kind of clear that she was talking about Ice Spice. So it's like every time a girl gets close to Cardi B, Nicki throws it in their face that they're barbs. I haven't seen anything that could be brought up to throw that in Glorilla's face. But like I said, I stand to be corrected. Mike, or is that Mick? Mick Powers says every girl got a Grammy before Nicki, Megan getting the most. And I know that bothers her. It would bother me too because I've been there, so long. I've contributed the most out of all these girls to female rap culture because she's been like, around for like 15 years. And then to see these new young girls coming out and getting the accolades that she never got before her, I would be pissed. I completely understand her frustration. I would be pissed too. That's like, like in your job, you're like a good employee. You give it your all, you're always on time, you go above and beyond, and then some new employee comes in and they get promoted over you. Like, I would totally be pissed. But at the same time, it's like, you can't take that out on the girls. Take that out on, I don't know, take it out on the people who were in the categories with you, who won over you, who you feel like you deserve it more than them. But you can't take it out on these new girls. They're working just as hard. They have great music just like you. So, and I mean, you see the difference in the attitude between her and Cardi B, because Cardi B has one Grammy. Doja just came out. Doja has quite a few. I really can't say offhand how many she has. I think Megan has three. And these girls are coming out now and they're like outdoing Cardi B. But you've never seen Cardi be bitter about it. And that's the difference. She might think, okay, well, in her head, she might be thinking, okay, so what about me? How come I've never gotten another one? How come they're now coming out and they're getting more than me? But she's never publicly shown that kind of bitterness towards them. Jeffrey says Nicki also passed on Industry Baby, and that song was huge. Another man's trash. Yep, I did hear this story. I remember in the height of the drama with Cardi B, the whole shoe throwing drama in 2018, she had mentioned that Nicki passed on what's the name of that song? Was it No Limit? Was it No Limit? What's the name of the song with G Easy, ASAP Rocky? I might have the name of the song wrong, but that song, she said it was offered to Nicki first, and she declined, and then Cardi B got on it, and it blew up. So she has this like bad track record of passing on things that at the time she feels like it's beneath her, and then somebody else gets on it, and it blows up, and then she's left with like egg on her face, feeling like, okay, well, this was offered to me first, but she didn't believe in the song. She didn't feel like it was up to her standard or whatever, and then somebody else took it to another level. Yep. Mick says all Nicki kept saying was Lil Kim was old, saying Kim needed to retire, and Kim wasn't even 40 yet. Exactly. Lil Kim was younger than she is now. When she was calling Lil Kim old and washed up and saying she was there to take her spot and fill her shoes and blah blah blah. Nicki, I feel like this whole Lil Kim issue has, haunted Nicki's entire career. She was able to not really feel the brunt of it for the past like 10 years or so, because it was her alone basically on the top, and now like all these girls are coming out and people are seeing the same cycle repeating with her. Now everybody can see like the comparison between the Lil Kim stuff. So it's like, you can't complain about maybe it happening to you is unfair. But how are you complaining about it happening to you when you did it to someone else? That's like the height of hypocrisy. It's hard to feel. I do feel like, listen, I don't want you all to think I'm just like a Nicki hater. I am not a fan. I do think she's very problematic. I do not support anything she does. But at the same time, I could recognize when things are unfair. And I do feel like, it's unfair for new girls to come in and like disregard her contributions, disregard that she does have a a huge place in female rap. You don't have to worship her to acknowledge that. You do not have to like grovel and kiss her ass to acknowledge that, but you can still acknowledge it. But then at the same time, it's like, you didn't acknowledge it when it was somebody there before you, so it's hard to feel sorry for her. it's really hard to sympathize with her when this is the exact same thing that she put Lil Kim through. I feel like for Nicki to, recover her, like, because I don't think people respect her anymore, and for her to recover that kind of respect, she has to make amends with Lil Kim. But I really don't see that happening. That beef is too long running, it's too deep for it to be recovered now. And even if she tried, it won't come across as genuine. It will come across as, you're only doing it now because you're getting backlash and you're trying to use me to recover your image. So I don't think Lil Kim is smarter than that. I don't think she would even go for it if Nicki did reach out to try to make amends now. If amends were to be made, it should have been done years ago. Anywho, so I've ranted for 50 minutes. Let me bring on people now. I am posting the link. So if anybody wants to join the stream and rant and rave and just like give their point of view, feel free. If you're a barb and you want to cuss me out, you can do that too. Just like, go easy on me, okay? I don't want to cry on live. I'd be very embarrassed. So don't cuss me out too much. um okay, so I posted the link if anybody wants to come on. Somebody was on here asking earlier if I was going to bring people on, and now I'm posting the link and they're not coming on. Girl, come to the mic. Where are you? Okay, wait. I think she came on. So adjusting my crown. Welcome to the stream.
Girl, come.
Devan.
Hello,
Can you hear
Add
me?
3 people at a time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, first of all, welcome back, Camille. I missed you. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, let's start here. It behooves me, absolutely behooves me.
And when something behooves somebody, it's serious, right?
It absolutely behooves me that everyone is blaming Lotto. How is this Lotto's fault? This is
It's not
not Lotto's
even.
fault.
It is definitely not her fault. It's the Grammys' fault because the Grammys have typically done this over time. If y'all remember back in the 90s when the first rap category in 1990 to be precise wasn't even broadcast on TV. Will Smith and all the other rappers didn't even show up to the award ceremony because they didn't even broadcast the category. Rap has only really been around for 40 plus years. Even now, even though it's gotten recognition, this, that, and the third, the Grammys still do not respect rap as a category.
Let
They
me
don't.
let me let me let me say this real quick. Let's just say that the Lotto thing never happened, right?
Hmm.
Let's just say it never happened, right? If this woman did not win a Grammy, which she won't, she was going to attack the person who won. How
That
you
is
can't
true.
see
Yep.
how toxic
Yep.
this woman is? Are
Yep.
you kidding me? This woman is crazy. I'm tired of her. I'm sick of her. Somebody brought up a good point today, and they was just like, "Hey, everybody was praising Lotto, saying that she sounded so respectful on the phone, and she don't get no props for that because when you're the person that's recording, you know how to act." And I get that. I totally get that. But to just hear that rage in that woman's mouth, did you hear the rage? She was
Yeah.
going crazy. Now, mind you, all of this stems because Lotto's told the truth. For so long, it was just Nicki Minaj. Where is the lie? I remember she won an award and she was like, "Oh, I won." And everybody in the crowd was laughing because who else is going to win but you? There's no one else. Who else is going to win but you?
I
So the
have
fact
something
that
to
she's like,
add.
The fact that she's like, oh, I'm gonna send some people to give you some information since you're misinformed about the other girls who was here. You reigned supreme for a decade. Okay, get your retirement plan and move on. Ugh,
Exactly. She's not on
Okay.
I'm
retirement
tired of
Can
plan.
her.
can I say
Oh,
something? Can you guys hear
yes,
me?
yes.
Okay. So to understand Nikki's anger is it goes really deep, but she's taking it up with the wrong people. If you guys remember a few years ago, when the Oscars So White became a thing and Will Smith and Jada were talking, Solange Solange Knowles said, this applies to the Grammys as well. And if y'all don't know, I forget what year it was in the 80s, but Lionel Richie, he won Album of the Year over Bruce Springsteen. And that was just, they were behooved, to use a word in here. They were just, the Academy could not believe that it happened. And then after that, they created a special counsel. So when an artist or their record label submits a song, it's not even the voting members who get to even vote for it to be in the top 5 to be nominated. It goes through at least 2 different screenings from a small group of the same people for years before it gets to
Oh, okay.
the status of, okay, now Recording Academy, you guys can vote. And if you guys don't know, in 2018, the Grammys, the Recording Academy, they finally changed and they decided to become more inclusive. 2018 is the same year that Queen was released, so I don't believe that Queen was eligible for that. But since 2018, the Recording Academy, they have increased the number of women and the number of Black music creators and just all around other people than just white men. And that reflects in all of the different artists. That's why a Megan Stallion, or Cardi B, or Doja are getting Grammys. It's not just because, oh, we want to punish you, Nicki, but it's more inclusive. But also, she has rubbed so many people wrong that I'm not shocked that she hasn't gotten a Grammy yet. Because I know, Camille, you were like, well, it was 10 years ago, like maybe it's changed. It hasn't. Your reputation is everything in this industry. I live in Los Angeles. I know how Hollywood works, and your reputation is everything, and how you behave is everything. And the way that she was talking to Latto was absolutely crazy. She needs to take this up with the people in the Recording Academy that feel like she's not worthy of winning a Grammy, and instead she's taking it out in the competition. And it's really sad. It's a really sad swan song, because these young women, they're doing what they're supposed to do. And guess what? That's a part of being a pioneer. Some things you suffer, right? Lil Kim suffered in her career, and those before her, they suffered. Well, guess what, Nicki? Unfortunately, you have had to suffer as a pioneer as well. Hopefully one day you get your Grammy like you should, but until then, don't take it out on the new girls. That's a reflection of you and your business and everything that you're about, and the people that you choose to marry and procreate with, and the things that you do. That's all on you. The fashion industry hasn't messed with Nicki for years. Y'all remember when she was like pictured next to Annual Tour and like those pom poms? And then that was like it. She has really rubbed a lot of people wrong in the industry. So the Nicki hate train, I think it exists, but it's not necessarily let's get Nicki. It's we just don't want to mess with her because she's just bad business. And that's all I have to say for this evening.
Listen, all I gotta say is this: Karma spun the block for her. Okay, that's it. Karma spun the block for her because 15 years ago, Kim was saying the same thing. You copied and pasted this girl entire flow, her entire style. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta give Nicki props when it's due. Yeah, she created her own style within that, but let's be clear. Kim was the original Barbie, but let's stick to the topic. Let's get back on her.
And
I'm not
and
off her neck yet. I'm not off
and
her neck yet.
the original Queen Bee. Don't forget
And the
that too.
original queen. Yeah, no, because I'm not off her neck yet. Hold on. Okay, no, because I'm not. Because I'm tired. You don't
Are you from New
understand.
York? Because you sound like you from New York.
I am. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, I was about to
Oh
say
shit,
the
this is
Bronx. Where that
personal then.
came from.
Yes, and the crazy thing is, people. Well, probably some people in Queens, but the entirety of New York and the other boroughs, we don't like Nicki. We never
We don't.
have. We don't
Mm-mm.
like Nicki. This woman is a mean girl. Picture it like this. Picture it like this. Nicki and Cardi and Lotto and Megan, let's just say they're managers in a company, right? Let's just say they're managers. Nicki is loved by the higher ups. The higher ups represent like the fans, right? Because that's the one who pays her. So the fans are like the higher ups, and they respect her, right? But everyone else, including the co-workers, the customers who come in, everyone else, like the other managers. So who's the
Oh,
bottom denominator here?
that was such a good comparison. That was
Who
such
is
a
the
good
bottom
comparison.
denominator here? Nikki is that one employee that everybody knows who thinks she's the owner.
Oh
You're
my
not the
God.
owner. You're not
Ooh,
the
yes.
owner. Ugh,
Perfect.
And the
I'm
That
just
was a
crazy
tired of
thing
her.
perfect
is,
spot
Listen,
this
on
isn't even
comparison.
over nominations. This is just submissions. Nothing has been nominated. These are just submissions. This is literally applying for a job. This isn't even the interview process. It's just
a-
applying for the job.
again, let's just say
So,
Katy Perry wins that. She's going to go after Katy Perry. Somebody screenshot this. Whoever wins, she is going to have a whole. Listen to me. Whoever wins,
oh
she is going
God.
to go on a sympathy tour saying how it's not right. But I thought you didn't care about the Grammys. I
Right.
thought you didn't care about that. Why did you submit? Why are you here?
I
And
totally
and
agree
while
with
while
your
we're talking
assessment.
about the Grammys and all that, how does Super Freaky Girl win? That song is trash. It's giving payola. It's giving retirement plan. How did this girl win for that? It was
Nothing
garbage.
has won. Nothing has
Are
been
you
won. These are just
no,
submissions.
excuse me. How did she get number one? How? It had to be her higher ups. It had to be her fans because
It's
it's
the bars.
and listen, and one more thing. I'm sorry, I'm about to get off soon. Whew. One more thing. One more thing. It does whatever narrative this woman spins, the Barb's run with it. Run with it. Now everybody's going around with
Mm,
this narrative that Lotto was mad because she didn't get a feature. Lotto, mind you, Lotto didn't get the feature and it still blew up. So Lotto was talking her big one, like, yeah, yeah, look at me, yeah, yeah, look what I got, and you mad about that? And mind you, and then she did it with Nicki's nemesis, one of them, okay, one of many of them, which is Mariah Carey. Are you kidding me? You're mad because okay, somebody
I
else
know
speak
Mariah
because I
is
could
like
keep going
summer
on.
sipping prosecco and just laughing her ass off,
Her,
like karma.
Cardi, Megan, the list goes on and on. All these girls probably was on a group chat laughing, as they should. This woman is a bully. This woman is an absolute bully, and I'm sick of her. Anybody who anybody's stuff I go to, whether it's any other YouTube commenter and creator, anything I see on YouTube, I never respond. I just sip my tea and that's it. You know who I respond to? Camille's Corner. When she came on, I said, "Oh, now it's time to let all this frustration out." She's the only person I feel comfortable with to come on her platform and say how I feel. Everybody else, I
yep.
just be quiet. I just sip. I don't say nothing. But Camille's Corner, when she came on, I was on the game. I'm a huge gamer. I was playing GTA. I told my whole crew, Camille is on. I'm out. Bye. And I came straight on because this is the time where I get to release. This woman needs a nice listen, give her her retirement plan and send her on her way. That's it. That's it.
Now she just needs some therapy because, like you said, no matter who wins the category, one of the commenters just said that even if Jack Harlow wins the category, she gonna be having a problem. But my thing is, maybe her music is just not that good enough to be submitted to for the Grammy category. And I'm glad you explained how that works, because for decades I have always wondered how who votes, how they vote, who is listening to the music that's being submitted, because half these people, I always listen to the song of the year category and the record of the year category. How many times in years past have you seen records of the year and songs of the year that you never heard played once on the radio, and you like, who the
When
heck
Beck
is
won, I
this?
was so confused. Like I knew Beck, but I was like, what is this? I mean, that was
Right.
one time I agree with Kanye. Like, what is this?
Beck had was hot back in the 90s. He had the Loser song, but that record that was for album of the year that year, I don't even remember who all was in that category, but there were bigger albums that year. And I'm sitting there like, Beck, Beck, really? And he hadn't even done any music in like years when that album came out. And it's like you scratch your head, you're like, and the other category that is like kiss of death category, in my opinion, is the best new artist category.
Can
Notice
I
how
just
many best new artist category they win that one best new artist, you never hear from them ever again.
can
Never.
I just let me say another thing. Why is everybody jumping over the fact that Lotto said that Nicki got a writer? Everybody zoom past that. Why are we going past that? And it's like whatever Nicki say to her barbs is like biblical. Why? Lotto clearly said we have the same writers. Why everybody zooming past that part? Somebody need to do a segment just on that. Why?
Right.
And mind you, she never denied it. She never denied it. I
But
don't
don't
care if
most
somebody writes your hook, you don't write all your raps. I don't care if somebody gave you a sentence. If every single song don't say Nicki Minaj was the writer, you didn't write your own raps. I don't care. I don't care. I don't
but
care. I don't
don't
care.
most
I don't care.
but don't most people in the industry, I'm just going off of my 40 plus years of hip hop knowledge. Don't most people have ghostwriters? Because if you remember that self destruction song, that MC Light verse, LL Cool J wrote that verse.
Mm.
Go back
This
and listen
this
to
is a this is
go back and
another
listen to self
thing.
destruction.
This is another thing that behooves me. Hold on,
Word of the
because
night.
listen, because everybody thinks that B is the queen, right? Nobody ever says anything about her 50 million writers on hers. Why? Nobody would dare say anything about Queen Beyonce. I mean, yeah, she writes, but not all her songs. Why
Right.
nobody
And
talking about that? And
remember
everybody hold her in such a high regards. So
remember
why?
Diane Warren, the songwriter Diane Warren made a statement about that when the Renaissance album came out. She said, I don't need a team of writers to write music. Remember she said
People
that?
talk, yeah,
Wait,
people
Camille
talk
got me
about
laughing. I'm
Beyonce
sorry,
writers,
Camille.
but the problem is that Nicki put this on herself. That's how she, when the girls were starting to come up and Cardi and all these, her whole thing was, well, I write my raps. And when she broke up with Safari, no, I write my raps. She put that on herself. You remember when,
She got
everybody said Drake had a ghostwriter. He didn't really deny it. He just said, I make better music than you. So she
right.
put that on herself. Like,
Yeah.
you have a Beyonce who has a lot of writers. Nobody talks about how Rihanna does write her songs. But guess what? Beyonce's also not in her songs talking about, I write my own music. I write, like, Nicki put that on herself. She made herself say, I'm the queen because I write my own music and I'm the only bitch up here. And it's backfired. And I don't want to take over your I'm gonna back off and listen to other people, but I was listening to Lovely T's live that she did the other day, where she played the interview of Lil Kim at the Breakfast Club, talking about the disrespectful things that Nicki was doing as she was coming up, saying things that she was saying to Lil Kim to people in the industry, and then she played a video of Lil Kim talking about, oh well, you have to respect the new girls, and you have to do this, and you can't be bitter, and Madonna accepted Lady Gaga with full arms, so you should do that, do the same. And then she played a clip of Missy Elliott talking about how this shit has just, and this is like years ago, how this shit has just like divided the community, and it's really sad. And it's like full circle. The things that you did to Lil Kim, the things that you said proudly, it's coming back to you. And where there was such a divide, now there's unity. Because like I think I said it on somebody's video, when she was off having babies and getting married, like there was actually like peace. Like like City Girls is coming out, like different artists. Like you got to listen to like Sweetie, and like it was relief. And then she came back, and it's like just this cloud of just drugs and anger and ranting on Queen Radio at 2 a.m. and talking about like Garcelle Bouvet, and just going crazy at people. And it's just, I don't know how her fans just eat this shit up. Where it's like she says these things. She said it was whack to post private DMs and text messages years ago, and yet she did that. She said it was whack for the old girls not to give new girls a warm welcome, and she does the opposite. So it's like she says these own things, but yet her fans just like eat it up like chop suey. I don't know, but
So
I'm gonna
so
back out so
basically,
somebody else can join on the stage.
basically she's being a hypocrite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the barbs just eat it up. The problem is nobody holds Nicki accountable. Who is in her circle that's holding her accountable? Because the barbs don't.
Nobody,
She
because
needs she needs
obviously she
someone to
got
hold
yes
her
people.
accountable.
Right. She's got people that will not tell her no. She's got people that will just do whatever she says when she says jump. And the barbs are crazy. I don't know. It's like the thing Camille was talking about a couple weeks ago, where the barbs are doxing the lady that she wants to sue for defamation. I'm
Nosy
like,
hoe.
yes. So I'm sitting there like, so if one of your fans, your barbs, go and do something to somebody on the internet, are you gonna take up for them if they end up hurting somebody because they doing what you tell them to do? She's not gonna jump
Mm.
for them. She's not gonna be paying their bail. She's not gonna be paying for no lawyers for their defense if they go out and do something in the name of Nicki Minaj.
Okay,
She's
ladies,
not gonna
real
do that.
quick. I'm sorry to interject. I just want to slide in real quick. I have so much to say, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. I am also a fellow New Yorker. Okay, I'm
New
from the
York in
Bronx.
the house.
So, but I'm also Jamaican. So, while I love Nicki's music, I've never been a fan of her character, her disposition.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Um,
yes, exactly. Thank you for saying that.
we have to give her credit where credit is due. She is an excellent artist. She's an excellent lyricist. I think she's probably the best in the game. However, her character is lacking in so many ways, and I don't understand for the life of me how people are blaming Lotto in this situation. I feel like, and I said this in the comments, that Nicki, she first of all, she's extremely smart. She's very calculated. She's very meticulous. I think she's like the anti-clause. She's like literally making a list and checking it twice, and she's coming for any and everybody who put dirt on her name, who didn't support her, who didn't give her her just due the way she feels like they should have. And I feel like she was lay waiting Lotto and use this situation as an opportunity to set a trap for her, like as an opportunity to come for her. I think that she is one of those people that's going to have a problem no matter what. So, she's constantly, I think she's the epitome of hypocrisy. She talks about people constantly moving the bar. She constantly moves the bar. First of all, let's talk about, if anybody's familiar with Nicki's track record, because a lot of the barbs are super young. Like, I was here when Nicki was like, her mixtape was a thing. I was a Nicki fan. I'm listening to her music. And a lot of people said Nicki was a gimmick, just like she tried to say Cardi was a gimmick in the beginning. I don't know if you guys remember that, with the outlandish dressing
Yes, I do.
and
I
her.
do.
She was not deemed this lyricist right off the bat. She worked on her craft and she got better and she improved, which I feel like is something she didn't want to give Cardi the opportunity to do. I think right now at this point she's giving bitter, like super bitter, super just envious,
Absolutely.
super vindictive.
Absolutely
It's like
agree.
she comes across as very hateful, in my opinion. And I'm gonna say this too. I'm a huge fan of, I don't know if we're allowed to say other YouTubers' names on here. I don't know if Camille, if that's an issue or not. But I'm a huge fan of another YouTuber on here, and they make a point all the time, and they say, never let a bitch trick you about your spot. And I say this to say, because I feel like that's what Nicki is trying to do. I don't know if you noticed when they posted, or they made all of, like, when Lotto posted the recording and Nicki posted the DMs, Nicki tried to play very ignorant to what Lotto was talking about. She's one of those girls, like, playing your face. It's very rare that she's going to like throw a stone and say, yes, I did it. she was acting as if she was very unaware of the subs that she had been throwing to Lotto. I feel like Lotto took a lot on the chin and ate it quietly, right? And Nicki was subbing her and subbing her and subbing her and subbing her the entire time after this whole Jason Lee interview. The thing is that because she didn't mention Lotto's name, once Lotto, it's like Nicki relies on the fact that a hit dog will holler. Like if you feel it might apply to you, you're gonna show your hand, and then she's gonna turn around and be like, "Well, what do you mean? Like I don't know what you're talking about. This is my first time seeing this." But she's very much that girl. And as a girl from New York, I also don't get the whole thing where people give her all this. Nicki is not a hood girl by any means. She's not. She's hood adjacent, which is very different than being a hood
Thank
girl.
you,
Okay?
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Big
you.
difference. She's a
Oh
big,
God,
and
but
so
Oh, thank
she's
okay.
hood
you.
adjacent. And there's nothing wrong with being hood adjacent. A lot of people in New York are hood adjacent, but she's not a hood girl. Like, and if you think about it too, Nicki wasn't on this whole gang stuff until Cardi came into the game. You see what I'm
Facts.
saying? She was not
Facts.
about. If you listen to her music from way back in the day, while she might have talked her stuff here and then, she was not going hard with this gang got the hammer. None of that stuff existed until Cardi came on the scene. Okay, and then she went ahead and felt like she had to get her a Kenneth Petty so that she could feel, I guess, validated, and she could feel like that was her. Kenneth is like her stamp of approval.
Right. And another thing that you mentioned, Nikki is basically gaslighting.
Very much so.
She's
She's a
doing
huge
she's
gaslighter.
she's doing the typical narcissistic type of shit.
Exactly. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
blame me. I'm always gonna be the victim. Oh, somebody it did it to me. I'm the victim, but then you go around and gaslight people.
Right.
And gaslighting can be real dangerous, especially in the wrong hands of people, because there was like a movie, I think it came out like in the 1920s or 30s. The title of the movie was called Gaslighting. That's where the gaslighting term came from. And it's like they don't want to ever take responsibility. They don't want to accept
Because
accountability for
she's a professional
anything.
victim.
Right,
She's
right,
a professional
right.
victim, and she's a professional gaslighter. And
Hmm.
like my whole thing is that why would you expect, you've been subbing this girl for God knows how long, why would you expect her to turn around and defend you? And
Right,
I hear Lotto's point. It's like, listen, I'm still a fan of you. And so here's the thing: Lotto was probably very much a fan and a stan before she became an artist. And now that
right.
she's become an artist, she's entered the same space now. And I think that she's become privy to how Nicki moves and more information now that she's behind the scenes. And it's probably to some degree made her have a little bit a lack of respect. She loves Nicki, like she loves the talent, but she probably is starting to like be off of Nicki the woman. And I felt like during the recorded conversation, now granted, I feel like when you're recording a conversation, you kind of know what to say and what not to say. But at the same time, I felt like, okay, Lotto gave her a lot of respect. But at the same time, like I feel like she sounded like a maniac. She sounded unhinged. Like
And
she the screaming and the
like you said, I didn't even watch the whole Instagram live, but the bits of it that I did watch, she sounded like she was completely losing it, like she needed to be in a mental institution, or
yes.
she was kind of,
Yeah.
She
you
has a
know,
superiority complex, and
she
I feel
really
like
is.
right. And so now she's always changing the issue. So now the issue is that she's creating the narrative that these new up and coming girls have been trying to use her, and that's why she pays them dust, and that's why she's falling out with them. But my whole thing
These,
is,
but these
but my
girls
whole thing
don't
is,
even need to do that because, like you said, the way social media is set up, if you get a song, make a dance, put it on TikTok, and everybody starts trending your sounds, duh, it's gonna be popular. Like you
I
said
think
earlier, the
I
whole
I
little
think
Kim
she just
came up in
has
a
like
different era. I mean, you know,
I
I don't
think
she
for
think
her it's just hard.
Lotto is
It's hard to
anyone that
accept all
needed to
that.
use Nicki Minaj. I felt like Lotto had her own bubbling. While Lotto was a fan, she wanted to work with her. I don't think she needed to use her. I think, sure, I definitely feel like Meg used Nicki to some degree. I get it. But my issue is, okay, you're mad at the girls who come in and kiss your butt because you feel they're trying to use you. What's the issue now with Cardi? Because if you think about it, Cardi came in on her own wave. She never tried
exactly.
to kiss Nicki's butt. She
She
came in on
never
her own
did.
wave. Right. She came in on her own wave. She did her own thing, and you still found an issue with this girl. And which brings me back to my point. Nicki is always going to find an issue with anyone who is unwilling to play Robin to her Batman.
Mm,
Period.
perfect
Okay.
analogy. Perfect
If you're
analogy.
not trying to be 10 steps behind her, or if you're trying to be a front runner, she's not going to support you. If you're trying to threaten in any way, shape, or form her celebrity, she has an issue. It's very much, to me, she's giving insecure, she's
I
giving
have been,
bitter,
and I've been saying that on
and I
all the
don't get
posts
why
all day
people
long.
can't see it. I don't understand this whole Nicki hate train that people are talking about. Like, I feel like she created the hate train. Like, yes, there was a hate train. I don't deny that it existed, but I felt like she created it. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, it's not going to stop with her. She's going to continue to come for these girls, in my opinion, because she's going to come for anyone. Like somebody else said, whoever wins, whoever beats her in whatever category, she's going to have a problem with them, because she's just she's never happy. She's never satisfied.
Well,
Right.
she's not going to be satisfied because
Mhm.
she feels like, to me, I mean, this is how I'm understanding it. It feels like to me like she has made her whole character being like the best rapper or the best female rapper of all time. So for her not to have that spot, I think it's affecting her like literally mentally, like everywhere.
Right.
But I think she forgets like a couple of things because and I'm gonna hit like something that has nothing to do with it, but I'm gonna come back. When Napoleon came into power back in like a million years ago during the French Revolution, he only came into power because of the French Revolution. And I think when it comes to Nicki Minaj, it's kind of the same thing. Like when she came in, Lil Kim was going to jail, Remy was in
Right.
jail, Foxy had her issue with the ear. Like there was all these other people, and she happened to be there at the right moment, at the right time. And because everybody was gone, once somebody is gone, especially back in the day when there used to be like only one person to be there, obviously she took the spot. Like, I don't think she's a bad entertainer. I don't think she's a bad rapper.
Right.
But I
Not at
also
all.
feel like, no, not at all. But I also feel like she just has made it so much her persona that when she's not at the top, it's almost like people are coming to her personally, like they're basically saying like she's just not worth anything. Like that's
Oh
how she
my
Right.
takes it.
God, that
And
is
I
a
feel
she's
good
not willing
analogy.
to share the
Good
spotlight with
analogy.
anyone who doesn't want to kiss the ring. You have to
Oh
kiss the
my
Exactly.
ring.
God, all y'all points are so flipping valid, and it's like every last one of y'all had made almost the same points that I've been talking about saying in my head for years. Anytime there's something going on with Nikki, I've said the same thing. Like I said, it's her attitude,
I mean,
and
you can tell she has an attitude because I mean, if you
big
think about
time.
all the girls that are rappers, I understand that like as a rapper you have to feel like you're the best rapper alive, but
Yeah.
nobody talks in third person as much as Nicki Minaj does. Nicki
Oh
Minaj
I
is
God,
always
that is
like,
agree.
so annoying. That is annoying. I hate when anybody speaks in third person. It's like, does it make you superior for you to talk in third person?
I mean,
Does it
that's how
really?
she
I
feels though.
I
Yeah,
also
she
feel
feels that she's owed a lot of respect, and a lot of, like, these girls coming in should like give her a lot. See, another thing I
but
think
how
also,
much
she's trying to
respect?
create.
How much respect she
She's
want?
see
How much
she's
Right.
trying to
respect?
create.
These
Someone made a point on another show, and I agree with this. Is that she's trying to create this narrative that, because the whole thing is that people, the general public, has said that female hip hop was about unity, and Nicki came in the game, and she stomped that out. Like, there was no more unity when Nicki's involved. I think she's trying to paint this narrative that there has never been any unity in hip hop, and that everyone is just an opportunist. You see what I'm saying? So that if she makes everyone believe that there's never been unity, all these women are opportunists, then
Well,
she
that's
can't be
some.
the
Well,
one
that's
to be
some pure
blamed for
bullshit.
breaking up the unity. That's just kind of how I look at
That's
it. Like,
But if that
that's
doesn't make sense either, because if that was the case, then that would make her an opportunist as well.
but she doesn't look
exactly.
at herself that way. She looks at herself as someone who's paved the way, which she has
Mhm.
to some degree. But she's basically trying to say, like, this is how I do it. Like, she's pulling all these girls cards and showing how they've been fans, and showing how ultimately they've all been chasing the same goal, which is a feature with her, that they're not true fans. So she's trying, in my opinion, to paint this picture like there's no real love. Everybody's out here just trying to get what they can get from me. You see what I'm saying? And y'all are
Mm-hmm.
mad at me because I'm able to see through the bullshit and I'm curving these girls. But
Let me talk about the hate train real quick. I believe the hate train came from internally. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was her colleagues and everyone else that don't like her internally. I'm talking about a inside job. I don't
right.
think it was. I don't think it was like the outer part, which is like the fans and the regular people who don't like her. We don't have no strings to pull. I think
No.
that was internally. I think
Mm-hmm.
that she's such a mean spirited person that that internally the people inside, they was like, you know what? No, 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 no. She's not winning this. You know what? No, 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 no. Let's not do
I
this
mean,
with her.
you can't bite the hand that feeds you at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
you
I
know. And I
really think
think
that's what it
with,
was.
yeah,
Hey,
absolutely, I agree. Oh,
Hey,
hi.
I'm gonna step down
I
and let
wanted to
somebody else speak. But you ladies have a nice night.
You
good
too.
Good
night.
Good
uh,
night.
night.
I wanted to say something about everything with Nicki and the girls wanting to do a feature with them. It kind of reminded me of like I have a younger sister. When Nicki came out, she was like 11 years old, and she was like, well, Barb, I don't think was a term for her, I guess followers back then or whatever. But I'm telling you, she always played her music. She knew all the lyrics to every rap. It was so I can understand Lotto's being genuine and saying like, "Hey, I was a huge fan." Like, you these there. Well, she was a child at that point. I don't think that she was faking when she said that. I think that it was completely genuine. The problem is that these celebrities are assholes. You see them in one light on TV, right? They're untouchable. You can't get to them, anything like that, right? But when you finally meet them in person, you're meeting who they are. Like that phone call was 1000% Onika. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what you see on TV is Nicki Minaj. It's two totally different people. That's any of them. And then as far as her feeling like these new girls are trying to use her in show business, you're only as good as your last, in this case, album. Or you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And before
Yep.
that, before Super Freaky Girl, whatever we talking about now, Nikki had done faded out of the scene. She was going off to be a wife and a mother. So truthfully, if they wanted clout from anybody, it should have been Cardi B. Because
It
let's be
really.
honest, when her stuff gets on the charts, it stay there. Nikki was getting stuff on the charts, but baby, it was falling off quick.
Mm-hmm.
So why? I mean, her name, of course, she has weight with her her barbs, but the fact is that the barbs are just a small group of people when you think about the entire world that's listening to your music and that's what I'm saying, following you or whatever. So I don't know, like it's delusional for her to think that these girls that she is now old enough to be a mother to, because Lotto even said like, yo, you older than my mama.
Mm.
She's not the hot
And
one anymore, and she don't want to let it go because so I'm also 40, but when I was growing up, it was like Lil Kim and it was Remy Ma, and man, the best writer like of all time when it came to female rap at that time for me was Missy Elliott. So like, what you mean
mhm.
you're the greatest lyricist of all time? Girl, sit down. Have you met Missy? You
Right.
forgot
Exactly.
about her riding in that Jeep and coming up with the big lips and the huge like plastic bag that lit up and she was like a rag doll or whatever she was doing in this stuff. You are not the originator.
And can
And when
anybody tell me why she put Cardi B in her lawsuit with Nosy Hole? It's given obsession.
Wow.
What?
because she think that Cardi has her you know doing all of this stuff when really Nosy Ho is a R victim herself, so she's been helping other women for years. Nobody ever gave what's her name, Jennifer, what the Nikki's husband's victim, a platform to talk on, speak on until then. So it's really not even about Cardi. It's just she mad because they coming after her because of her husband or whatever. So she thinking this
Well,
small YouTuber couldn't do that. Cardi
but
had to
she
put her up to it.
should have realized what situation she was going to be in once people found out what her husband was about, regardless of maybe he didn't do it, maybe he didn't do it, maybe it was consensual or not. But once you're registered as a SO person, that
Hmm.
follows you forever. That's why she couldn't go to the Met Gala. Well, I think the Met Gala situation was because she didn't want to get vaccinated against COVID. But, when you didn't he get in trouble for not registering from when he
He
moved to
did.
California as a sex offender?
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
gotta
he did.
be wary of that. And like you're a sex offender, you can't just regularly go pick up a kid from school or do this and do that with because people don't play with that. Even when you go to jail, if you do anything to kids, you will be the first one to get hemmed up in jail. You can do
Hmm.
every other crime in jail and go to jail for any other crime, but when it comes to children, they don't play that.
You know what I find odd about her even marrying him? I know it's like a stretch with the comparison, but she keeps talking about these young rap girls coming up and using her, and that's why I'm not going to get attached to them, and that's why I'm not going to help them. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But she had evidence that her husband was like, listen, look, I'm about to catch a lick. This is what he telling the girlfriend that he was with
Yep,
when
he sure
he
did.
linked
He
back
sure
up with
did.
Nicki. She didn't give a damn that he was using her for her money. She went ahead and married him. Now his ass is entitled to half. But you
Because
won't help these young girls get on?
her nemesis have husbands. Look at Cardi. Look at Remy. These girls have their husbands, their babies. She wanted that. Nicki Minaj is a prime
Yes.
example of someone who has everything, the notoriety, the fame, the beauty. She has all of it and still miserable.
And
She's still miserable.
the same way
I,
she paid for her face, her teeth, and that ass, she could have paid for a better man.
I think that
You
Mhm.
the
telling me
only
there's
amount
no
of
one in it?
desperation.
Okay,
There's
y'all. I don't like the direction of this conversation. Now it's sounding like just bashing Nikki's husband, and I don't
Well,
like
he
the
should
direction
be
it's going.
bad.
Yeah, but
Well, I
can we
think
keep
that
it like to
Nikki's
the
a
music and stuff, not the people's
okay.
personal lives?
I think that
Okay, well,
the
hi
whole thing.
Camilla.
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say a few things. My first opinion is that I think a lot of Nikki's decisions come out of desperation.
Right.
I think that she got married and she portrayed something that she wasn't because of her insecurities. Nikki's have always been a very insecure woman. I think coming into the game 20 years ago, she had to put on an act. She's not genuine, and I think that's where her obsession with Cardi comes from.
Right.
Just Cardi being able to be herself, show her flaws, accept herself for who she is. And that's something Nicki has never been able to do. And so I think that part burns her deep inside and she hasn't been able to let it go. And so she is determined to destroy her. But what Nikki doesn't understand is what God has for you can't no man take away from you. So I just think that her personality is fake. She's had to live this fake life. Her voice, her persona, everything is disingenuine, and because of that, she's angry and bitter. You know, and it
I think.
shows in everything that she does.
I think
I re-
everything. I'm sorry. I think everything that she did and said when she was coming into the game is coming back at her tenfold. If you
Exactly.
go back
Absolutely.
and look, if you go back and look at these old videos on when she was on Fendi with Fendi, she would say stuff like, "Oh, these old rappers, y'all, as long as y'all stay down, we won't have no problem." And so when she came into the game, like somebody else pointed out, all of the other women were having their issues, right? And during her career, a lot of rappers, female rappers, were locked out of the game until Remy came home. And that's when
And
the
she helped with
floodgates
that.
opened.
She was one of
Right,
those women who tried to keep other women outside. She tried to
right.
do it with Cardi, but it was impossible. Her time, her reign has ended in that way. You
But
know,
when
she would never not be a legend.
the
But
floodgates
at the
opened and she's unhinged now because she knows what she did. So she's reaping what she sowed and she's feeling it. And
yeah, because she
I
has
just
no
want to
more
say, I don't
control.
know if you guys know that they threatened this girl's mother, Lotto's mother, on
Oh
Twitter.
my God.
Yeah,
They did that to Mariah Lynn years ago with her
her
mother years
fans are
ago.
unhinged. And
They're a
another thing,
cult. They're a
yeah, they
cult.
are. And I think they have a secret language that they speak in, like code words that they use for attack mode. It's really weird. And I have one more thing to say. I just think that Nicki needs to stop. She has never promoted female unity in rap. Yeah, Kim had her beef with Foxy. She may have had her thing going on with Charlie Baltimore or whatever. But for the most part, Kim has always been a girl's girl.
Yeah, that those little beefs though, it was nothing like what's going on right now. It's
No, it
like
wasn't.
this week it was Lotto. Who next? I mean, Nicki stuff go all the way back to like the 2010s with Lady Gaga.
Hmm.
Y'all can go and look this interview up on
Miley
YouTube right now.
Cyrus.
She literally said, no, Lady Gaga, it's
No, I
kind of
was saying
annoying
Miley
that
Cyrus
she,
too.
yeah, it's kind of annoying that she keeps stealing my style. Wait a minute now.
Right.
Your style? What are you talking about?
When she ran
Little
with
Kim,
Little
Little
Kim's
Kim
whole
was the one
style.
with all of the crazy wigs and stuff first,
Facts.
and with the
Facts.
fashion. But if we technically want to go back before that, I remember being a little girl and seeing Madonna on TV
Right.
with the crazy costumes and the comb boobs. Y'all remember she was like coined
Yeah.
for wearing those insane comb boobs on stage and stuff. Like, stop it! You didn't originate it, and that's okay.
And there are two icons before that:
She
Grace
doesn't
Who?
have
Jones,
any real style for
Grace
herself.
Jones,
Nicki
and
Minaj,
Cher.
she just
Grace
doesn't.
Jones.
Everything she does
But
is a copy. And
I don't
these
know if
women
you
who
guys
are coming up
remember.
now have that.
Right.
Cardi
I
B's
don't know if you
fashion
guys
is impeccable and it kills her.
do you guys remember when they brought Little Kim into the fold and they did a song together, but the song never came out? It's like they brought Little Kim into the fold, Birdman and them, they brought her in so that she can study Kim.
I remember that. I remember Kim saying that. And Nikki said she didn't want her, and Wayne was like, "Okay, if you don't want her, then the song is dead." I remember that. I remember.
Right. But because she knew that, like, listen, I feel sorry for this girl because everything, all of the decisions that she's made in the last couple of years to marry this guy, to have a baby, it was all to compete with Cardi. You know, Cardi is affiliated, so she went and got
Absolutely.
somebody who was affiliated. She's friends with Ra Ali. Like the world thinks because of TV, Ra Ali is this, but she's a punk. I'm
Let
from
me
New York, so I
let,
know. Trust me.
let me say
I
this real
just
quick.
I don't
The
feel bad. The only person I feel bad for like that is Kim. Kim is
Right.
owed a global apology because they were dragging her even on the Breakfast Club,
Hmm.
any radio station she was on. Why are you acting like this? She knew you should take her under your wing, and now all of this stuff is coming out because we have. At the click of a button, we can look at these old things now because a lot of things were happening in New York. Well, I live in Florida and like down in the South, right? I never saw most of that stuff that I saw in interviews and stuff when Nicki was just selling mixtapes, and it was insane to know that I was, you know what I'm saying? My whole bop was like listening to her and Eminem and Roman's Revenge. Let me tell you, that used to be my shit, my stuff. Sorry. I used to love that song. But then I saw this interview and was like, oh man, she was talking about Lil Kim. Now I'm gonna have to X that from the catalog. I
Little
because
Kim took the
Yeah,
heat.
it did
Lil Kim
hurt.
was
It
my
really hurt
era.
to watch
You
her
know
do what
what?
she did.
Little Kim took the
It
heat and from
it was
all
very
of these
hurtful.
people during her time for these girls to even be who they are today. She got dragged by white people, black people, everybody for her lyrics, for the way she dressed, for everything. And Little Kim has taken the heat for all of these girls to be who they are today. And one thing that I love about these new girls coming in, it was like last year they all paid homage to Little Kim. Every last one of them. They all did
I'm glad that they
took a
did.
they
I don't know
did.
if nobody
And
I'm
saw even
glad that they
Foxy
did because
Brown.
when Lil Kim came out, these girls that's out now weren't even born yet, y'all.
no, but
Not
they
even
all
born.
paid. They all paid
Somebody,
Lotto,
homage to her. I'm talking about they
I
Lotto.
all did
mean,
a scene with like they did photos with the wig and the coat to match like they replicated her most iconic pictures, and it was dope. And I think that when she sees people like, because people are starting to understand now, right? Okay, yeah,
hmm
Nikki, you yeah, you're doing too much, ma. Like it's just crazy. And
yeah,
me being a
Lot
New Yorker, like the lady said before, we not really Nicki Minaj fans.
That's so true. And
no,
Nikki is not.
Lil Kim was my
She's
era, you know.
she's
Right,
not
mine
a
too.
Nikki. Nikki is not a street girl. That's why when
Nope.
Cardi walked up to her and said, "What's good?" She said, "I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here." She's not a street girl. She's not. She's not a street girl. She's never been that girl. She's never been that girl. And I wanted to say something about Lotto. Lotto was always going to be on Nikki's hit list, okay? Because she's in the conversations with the
Hmm.
Megans and the Nickis and the Cardis. She was in that conversation. She was getting too big. So this is what Nikki did, right? They said she didn't ever work with girls. She's not with female unity. She don't work with girls. So she said, okay, y'all want me to work with girls? Okay, I'm gonna work with girls, right? She got all these C-list artists to
Hmm.
work with, and she bigs them up because in her mind they're never going to surpass me. It's these females I have to worry about. I ain't got to worry about them. I don't have to worry about a Coil Ray. I don't have to worry about a JT. I don't have to worry about a Mitch. I don't have to worry about these girls, but these girls I have to worry about. I don't like these girls, but these girls is okay. Like
But what
she
That's
did a
what
song
you think,
recently
but
with Spice.
you
Spice
never
has
know
their own
who is
her own.
gonna.
but do you notice she does songs with these girls and never promotes the song?
Mm.
Shots fired, bang
And,
bang.
and
Listen,
JT, like I couldn't even understand JT because when you were in jail, she jumped on a song with Young Miami and made y'all big.
But the gag is JT was low key mad, and I peeped it around the same time. JT was mad because apparently she was supposed to be on WAP, and she recorded for WAP. They didn't
And they
like the
didn't
way she
like it.
sounded on WAP, so they gave it to Megan. So that's why when everybody was like, "Yo, why you not promoting WAP?" Cardi always promotes everything you do. She's like, "We don't have to promote every single thing, da 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 da." But it's because she wasn't on WAP and she was supposed to be. So ever since that, I think she had a little, she felt some type of way with Cardi. You know what I'm saying? So but my thing is some of these girls who was on the remix of Super Freaky Girl, some of these females worked with Cardi. So the fact that they flip so quick, and let me also say this real quick. The girls feel like they have to pick a side because Nicki is making them pick a side. And if y'all don't
Yep.
believe me, y'all could go to that tweet when she says, "Oh, and to all the people that straddle on the fence, that was for Lotto, by the way, and all,
absolutely.
yeah, for all these people straddling the fence, just know that Mother sees." So Cardi don't care. She don't
Well,
Right.
care. She's about a
listen,
bag.
it's,
Cardi
it,
don't care. She
it
don't care
doesn't
who
Well,
make
you work
sense.
with. Come
another
on.
thing that
what the
Cardi does
gag
is
is, the gag
Cardi put
is, I don't
uh,
think they're even afraid of Nicki. I think they're more afraid of her fan base. That's the gag.
right,
Because
right.
Nicki is weak, but her
I was
fan
about to
base
say she
is
can't put
vicious.
anybody on. That's what I keep saying. All these people that she hating on, baby, they got a Grammy, including Lil Kim. So the whole like, oh my God, I need Nicki for my career, baby. No, you don't.
Well,
You
these
don't.
these These
And that
barbs
Cardi
are gonna
had
find other
Cardi
people.
trying to tell y'all a long time ago that
Yeah.
Nicki want to get on something that's already hot. She don't want to get on the first thing. No, she want you to do that by yourself and get clout, and then she'll do a
She
remix with
said
you.
that.
You
She
she
said that.
told y'all, but nobody
Nikki
Wait,
said
believed
that.
her.
Nikki said
Everybody was
that.
like,
Nikki
wait,
said that
wait, wait,
"Oh
herself.
wait,
no,
wait, wait,
Cardi hating, Cardi hating." No, she
wait,
wasn't. She was spitting
wait.
facts.
Listen, on the screenshots, she told Lotto that. Does
Yeah.
is the song gonna be better
But it just
if I get
confirmed, it
on it?
really just confirmed what Cardi had already been trying to tell the world, but nobody wanted to listen to her. She was bringing down the black woman. Remember, she said black women are cockroaches. Man,
I'm
kill all
tired
that
of
Talking
noise.
hearing
about
At
that.
the
black
end of
women.
it,
Now
at
now
the end
Lotto's
of the
not
day,
black enough. Come on now.
But you
Now
know,
now
a lot of
now
people.
she's a
yeah.
Karen. Now
But
Lotto's a Karen. Come
you
on.
know what it
Well,
is. A lot of
she
people who are
always
not.
pander
Wait,
to people when it comes to race because everybody knows that in America, black people get sensitive when you bring up the topic of race. At the end of the day, you she's 50% white, she 50% black, and to most white people here in America, the one drops rules still apply. So she's just a
mhm.
black woman to them.
But I think what it is,
So
a lot of people don't understand about New York, especially the Bronx. Hispanics and blacks have a long history of culture together.
Absolutely.
well,
And
That
if
is so
Nikki know
true.
that, why she tripping? Ain't she from there?
so she from Queens. So I don't Queens is
Oh,
like
okay.
Caribbean, a little more Caribbean. But in the Bronx, you will have the darkest so-called quote unquote black person who speaks Spanish fully because they was
Absolutely.
in
Like my
abuela's
mother.
house.
Like my mother.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
So
I'm
that's where
Panamanian and my mother speaks 100% Spanish and she
that's
speaks
why when
100% English.
But that's why when Fat Joe said that Hispanics, and not just any Hispanics, Puerto Ricans to be exact, let's be real, they
Huh?
were part of the evolution of hip hop. They make up two of the four elements of hip hop. So Cardi B has her best friend is a black girl, Star Prim. Like what are you talking about?
I don't even know why that's even relevant. Even if her best friend was a white woman from Scotland, who cares? It's about the music, and this is all of their problem, except for I would say like Cardi B and the older rap girls. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Nikki's problem is she worrying about who gonna dethrone her when what she really need to do is go ahead and do like the sister of here said, go ahead and retire, and then you take one of these girls that you think honestly can make it, and then you groom them, and then you make money off of them the same
She's
way
never gonna do
Beyonce
that.
is doing with Chloe. You're
She's
missing a
never gonna
bag.
do that. She's
Man, she
never gonna do
could.
that.
She could have a whole, have her own, you know what I'm saying, record label.
No, listen.
When are
Just
you
Right.
going to
imagine
stop
the
and
spotlight is on
grow?
you for 10 years. Everybody's praising you for 10 years.
Yeah, but if you
And
think about
then
the rap
and
game,
then
that's
one
about
year
their
comes
career.
and then 1 year and then Cardi comes in and the spotlight gets off of her and going to Cardi. So I a little bit sympathize with her. I
I don't.
understand, but why not embrace the new
But
girls?
but
Because
Because
you
yet
look so
you
bitter.
why
you
listen,
can't.
if you
You
look
can't.
at the history of the genre of rap, their careers only span for about 10 years. That's including people like Jay-Z and Missy Elliott and everybody in the rap game. Look at their career.
That's
10
true.
years, that's their height. And then they were smart enough, though, to go and do something else and become moguls. See,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Nikki is missing the bag. She's an incredible writer. You know how much a writer make? More than that artist that's
They
singing it.
sure does. They
More than
sure
that
do.
artist that's rapping it. She missing it because she want to be on the stage in the spotlight. Ma'am, your time is up, and I'm sorry because I know I ain't like all that either. I ain't I'm a nobody. Okay, I'm just around here listening to music and peeping game. Your 10 years is up. It's time for you to grow. What's growth? You become the mogul. You do the stuff like Jay-Z doing, like Beyonce doing. Every now and then they'll pop their head out with a little song for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get y'all life together, but they're writing, they're creating behind the scene. Because let's be honest, this is show business, and they want you to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Those body enhancements, we're gonna call it that because it's somebody else's show. Those body enhancements are only gonna go so far. And then you ain't gonna be able to do it anymore. You gonna start looking crazy. 60 years old with a BBL. Stop.
She,
It's
I don't know.
time to grow in your career. You know what I'm saying?
She'll
I
It's
say
never
time
we
to
give her
grow.
her Grammy. Give her a Grammy and give her her retirement plan and
I,
escort her on stage left. Give her the Grammy and make her gracefully bow out.
No,
Come
I'm gonna tell you
on,
what's
give her
gonna
the
I
Grammy. I
happen.
think that's what she want. If it listen,
well, if that's
if
what she
let's
wants,
just
she
say
needs
if
to
that's
stop
what she
speaking in
wanted.
the universe that she
Let's just
don't.
listen. I say we give it to her so she could gracefully bow out. I think she deserve it. Yeah, she deserves it. But
Do
all of this
agree
got to
that she
But
stop. So
she
does.
if
didn't get one in 15 years. There's a reason why she hasn't gotten one.
True.
right,
She,
right. But
she, whoever
let me
she's
play
Personality.
rubbing
let
the
me play
wrong
devil's
way,
advocate. Let me play devil's advocate.
she's
If
rubbing
this is
somebody
supposed
the
to
wrong
be
way.
if this supposed to be fair, if the Grammy's supposed to be fair, you can't get in your feelings because apparently the reason they didn't give her a Grammy is because of the whole Miley Cyrus situation. They told her to apologize. She said she ain't gonna apologize, and she's been blackballed since then. Well, you can't do that. If we playing fair and we going strictly by the music, you can't pull strings to do that. So I'll give her some credit there. Just give her. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna put that hashtag. Give her her retirement Grammy.
So what
Just
I
give
about
it to her.
what about
My
all the time
gosh.
before? What about all the time before the Miley Cyrus incident? Because she was out way before then.
yes, Lord, she
So
was
she was,
coming
and
hard.
she
That's true. That's
right, and
I
true.
she
saw
was a
Remy
That's
big
true.
Ma's
artist.
interview. Remy Ma's interview. They interviewed her while she was locked up, and she was like, "I was looking at this little girl and listening to the words that she was rapping, and I was like, wait, I know she ain't talking about me. Go look at them old tapes, man.
But the whole thing about it is, let me tell you something. When Remy dropped Sheetha, Nicki was quiet
What
because
you
you
want to
know
know
what?
why? Because it
She
was all
realized.
fact.
Wait a minute. She realized. Wait a minute. This chick really can rap. So all it's
Yeah,
gonna take is for one of these new girls to really out rap her, and she'll be quiet for a minute. Then she gonna go get her.
Also,
She gonna go get
also
her
nosy
two
hoe.
brothers like she did. She gonna go get her two brothers like she did for Remy. That's it. Like
nah, she don't
Also
supposed to
nosy
go get
hoe.
nobody.
You need to use that Sheetha in your court case. If you listen to nosy hoe, you need to use that because Remy clearly said in Sheetha that she has a video of Nicki. Okay,
She sure
so
did. I forgot about
yes,
that.
she
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 did.
sure
don't
Yes,
need to
did.
she
do that.
did. Yes,
Sweetheart,
she
She
she don't need
dropped,
did.
to
yeah,
listen.
she
She don't
dropped
Yes,
need
she
to.
diamonds on
did.
that. She dropped
Wait a
diamonds on
minute. Wait a
everybody
And
minute.
she
why
messed with in the
you at it,
industry.
nosy hoe? Why you at it? Contact Azealia Banks too, cause she said
But
it
wait
too.
a minute.
Yeah,
She don't
And
need
why
to
you?
do that. She don't need to do that. She can use Nikki's own words against her. If you want to know what kind of drugs I use, listen to my songs.
But
yeah,
in
but
4K would be better.
actual
4K would
actual
be
proof,
better.
yeah, actual proof
4K would
is
be
better
better.
than that.
4K would be better. I would say hit her up. Okay, that'll be a retirement plan for her. All right.
As Thomas said, Sheether stopped the world that day. I know I was stopped. I sat there and listened to that whole long rap. I
Can
even
you?
pulled up the lyrics and I was like, wait a minute. All these men, let me go back and look at these lyrics and see
Now
who
she
she said
running around
again.
call, wait, now she running around calling everybody a dud after Remy done called to everything about her a dud. Now that's her new
Facts.
favorite word.
Facts. Facts. That's facts. Nikki,
And
I
you
mean
know,
that
she
I
was
don't
yeah.
really want no problems with Remy because Remy is from the street for real.
And also, you could talk that number talk with Lotto, right? But she didn't talk that number talk with Cardi.
But she never
You
does.
can't talk that number talk with Cardi, but you talk
Listen,
that number talk with Lotto.
she
You could
never
play with
does.
Lotto.
Anybody who
She
has numbers, she switches to write. You can't write. You don't write.
absolutely,
She's very
absolutely.
meticulous
But
with
you
her
know what?
bullshit.
When it comes to that writing thing, like I guess maybe if you're an artist, you'll care. But Cardi never said she was a writer. She said she was a rapper. Who
But
cares?
Cardi does
Who
write.
cares
Cardi,
who
no,
but
no,
listen, who cares who writes it?
no. I'm gonna tell you why. In
Whitney
hip hop, in
Houston,
rap, wait, sweet, wait, in
listen,
rap, really
Nobody
quick.
cares that Beyonce got 50 writers. Nobody cares
Listen,
about that. She's still the
listen,
queen.
listen. Part of being a rapper is writing your own shit. Like,
It's
let's
not.
sorry.
It's
No,
not
it
because
is.
if that
Listen
were the
to
case,
me.
Cardi wouldn't be where she is now.
Listen to me.
Nikki got y'all feeling
Can
like
y'all?
that.
No, no,
Nikki
Yes.
no, no,
got y'all
no.
feeling like no,
That's
no,
the,
no. Nikki
listen.
got y'all feeling like that. No,
That's
no.
the history of hip hop.
No, it's not.
That's
It
the
No, it's
does.
not.
it
No, it's not.
is.
Listen,
No, it's not.
It is.
It
No, it's
You
not.
was
don't.
No,
years
It
what
ago.
you
is
were
no,
talking
it's not.
about is battle rap when they standing out there
not
on the
just
Thank
street.
you.
battle rap.
Yes,
Somebody,
yes,
no,
yes,
listen, you talking
yes.
about a
Not
machine, a whole industry. They,
listen.
if you can rap, if you can write, great, but that doesn't mean that those producers are going to go with your stuff. When you come in, they'll say, listen, we got writers on this, we like your talent, but we're going to go in this direction.
But
You don't
that's
tell
only
them,
for
hey,
artists that. That's only for artists who don't have creative control.
ma'am,
If you have
That's
creative
not
control,
true. That's not true.
every artist that
The
you know, including the top sellers like a Beyonce, a Jay Z,
you.
has
But
had
that's a
writers.
different.
Even Jay Z is a
Listen,
rapper.
the
No,
last
no,
everybody
no,
nobody
has
ever
no.
had a
wrote.
She's right when
everyone
she
has had a
Listen,
say
rapper.
when she's
listen.
right when she say the history was with battle rappers. Yeah, it was with battle rappers. You get props for
But
writing. We're
listen,
talking about
Right.
nobody wrote.
hold on. We talking about an industry where they're in it to make millions and millions and
Right.
millions
No,
of
I
And
money
understand
of
what you guys
dollars.
are
So
saying.
when you say that's the history, no, it's not. Give
No,
me
listen.
give me interview after interview
I'm
after
gonna give
interview
you.
after
I'm
interview
gonna give
of
you
people
artists that
saying that.
nobody wrote for. Nobody wrote for the Locks. Nobody wrote for DMX. Nobody. These people.
no,
Nobody wrote
once
for Pine.
DMX, well, no, I'm not. Nope. Go back and look at his. Go look at the credits
I'm
on
gonna tell you
DMX's
how it works,
music.
and I'm gonna tell you how
Go
it works.
go look at
Listen,
it.
listen. I'm gonna tell you how it works. If I'm in the studio, I'm an artist, and you're there, right? And I write a rap, and you say, you know what? Change this, do this, say that. I have to give you writer's credit.
Exactly,
So
because you're
now
not
listen. Wait
writing
a
it by
minute. Listen.
yourself.
Listen, but it's okay for people to help you. But the whole thing about being a rapper, Ed Lover said it best. You could go look up his interview. He said, I can't give Nicki the queen of rap because she doesn't write by herself.
Nobody
Most of
does,
these
man.
artists don't
That's
nowadays.
not. That's
Nobody
not.
does.
That's not. That's not.
They might write the majority of it, but they don't. I mean, if you think about what Nikki did, okay, so she might have written her own verse on this new song she has out with these girls or whatever. But the only reason that that song is even popular is because of whoever wrote the music. Not them words. I'm not talking about lyrics. I'm talking about that music. It brought back nostalgia for people who were in Rick James's time.
Oh, well, we too talking about the track itself. I'm talking about
The,
the
yeah,
lyrics.
but even
So
the
that's
lyrics
why
too.
artists,
Nobody writes all of their own lyrics for every single song that they do. You can go look it up. DMX, did he write a lot? Of course, but did he write every single thing? No, because the industry does not work like that.
well, that's
If
when I
they,
say you don't have creative control. They won't allow it. That's why a lot
you
of
want to
artists are
know how
fighting for
many,
creative control.
you want to know how many years you have to be in the industry to get creative control? So that's why I
Some
say
never get
every
it.
single artist that did not write every single song that they have, including Queen Bee.
Well, the whole thing in
They
a nutshell is
didn't.
this. I
And it
just think
doesn't
that.
matter because it's about the money. That was my whole point at the beginning of all of this. I don't you telling me if I sing these lyrics I can become a millionaire? Well, give me the lyrics. I don't care who wrote them.
I
And
just
see,
think that.
that's what Nikki needs to understand. Nikki came up in a time where you had to grind hard. You had to make mixtapes. You had to go out there and you had to sell them yourself. You had to go out, to different clubs and you know what I'm saying, and do all this extra stuff. She's really mad because these girls got it easy. The same way our parents feel like we have it easy. Nikki now, it's a new generation out there. She feel like they have it easy. Because let me tell you something. I got a 12-year-old son. He be doing his little YouTube stuff, child, with the little games. But the reality of that small thing is he can have one video to blow up and he'll make more money than I do in the whole year, about
Mhm.
half of that same year. That's the age that we living in.
But
Nikki,
that's why a lot of these artists are independent now. They're not signing with these labels because they don't have to anymore.
They don't have to, but all the ones that you're seeing in mainstream, they have. Oh, you're gonna sign with their organization if you want to be on their TVs and their stations and their radio stations. When you have what is called what you're talking about an indie artist, they only get so far.
They get the distribution. So when you look at your
It's not the
uh
same.
no, that's what I'm saying. If you look at your all of the artists, and this is so weird. All of the artists that have died recently, they were all on one distribution label. They died owning their masters.
Right. You think Nicki gonna die owning hers?
No, I don't think, because Wayne, didn't he sell their catalog?
That's my point. It is not as glitz and glam as people think that it is. And she doesn't even own the whole song because she, like I said before, she does not write every single word. They don't belong to her. They have
But like,
writers to come in, they have
and if the
teams
barbs would just look
because they
at the
want to
credits,
make
they could see that
money.
she don't all write it. If they would just look at
Yeah.
the credits, they would see that.
No, they're not. They are. This is a cult. We're talking about. It's weird because when I'm on Twitter, I look at it's a lot of young gay young men, right? It's a lot of young kids. Is her fan base. It's really strange. It's like it's so strange. I'm like, yo, this is weird.
Mike
It's
Powers, that's true.
it's so weird. It's really weird, and it's like she. I don't. She has this control over these people that I've never seen before in my life.
You have seen it. You saw it with the Beehive. And even when Beyonce would try to tame them, they told her that she needed to be quiet because they got this. People are crazy.
She jumped into the whole conversation with JT, made her the picture. She's throwing shots, mind you. And then when the same thing happened with her and Lotto, Cardi didn't do that. She
No.
didn't do that.
She
She
didn't
was
get
minding
she
her business,
didn't
having
get
dinner with
Well,
her
involved at
family.
all.
I
She
think
didn't get
she
involved,
I think she put that group of girls together for she knew that they would be the test dummies, the crash dummies, and they would go after Cardi.
which is so
Now
stupid.
I gotta play devil's advocate. I don't think that I don't I do think that JT shaded Cardi, but I don't I see where she tried to smooth things over before Cardi even said anything. But then I understand Cardi's point because there's some a backstory to that. You know, with the whole WAP thing and the whole JT, you know, slick shading. So I get that and I understand why Cardi did it. I'm not condoning it. But all the other girls, yeah, I think they were sent. I
I
think they
think
was
that
definitely sent.
Feel
well,
Absolutely.
like
listen,
if
she
they
got something.
take
She
if they
got something
take
going on
that
with
the
Jamaican
feelings
artists
out
right
of
now.
it.
Did
They
y'all
just
know
need to
that?
take the feelings out of it. Take the feelings out of it and look at it. It's like you clocking into a 9 to 5. Do you care about what Susan is doing at the cubicle next to you? Hell no. You trying to get your money. You trying to do your work, get a good job. You know, do a good job so they can give you your little raise and you can keep climbing the ladder. It's the same thing. That's their job. The problem is they trying to be friends. Stop trying to be friends. Go in there if you write, and if you don't write, go ahead and get that little, lyrics from the little ghostwriter, whatever they do. I don't know. I don't really
But
care.
do
And
y'all
do
know
what
she
you
got
need to
some?
do and then leave.
But do y'all know she started some things with the Jamaican artists now? The nine girls. Oh my God, it's a lot. She got a lot going on. She need to stop.
Yeah, but everybody all
Camille,
talking about feelings. I feel bad for her. For what?
Camille, I'm about to drop down, but I want to say a couple of things. One, are you gonna do the Cardi B and Tasha K documentary? Please don't forget about that, because I've been eagerly waiting for that. Number two, I want to say like maybe a week ago. No, probably not even a week ago. Like 3 days ago, I requested you on Instagram. Please accept me. And number three, until Nicki Minaj do right by Little Kim, everything she ever think about gonna
It's
fail.
gonna fail,
That's
That's
yeah.
it.
that's
That's
true.
it. And I'm out.
That's
Y'all have a
true.
good
And
night,
that's
y'all.
why I do not
I'm about to drop
feel
down.
bad.
Good
All
night.
right, good night.
Good
That's why I
night.
don't feel
Good
bad.
night.
Because once I saw that stuff that she did to Lil Kim and Lil Kim Didn't come at her with no crazy stuff. She ain't write no crazy whole album with a bunch of songs talking stuff like Lil Kim didn't do that to Nicki. She even saw her at a show, right? Stopped, gave her a hug, and took a picture with her after Nicki had did all this stuff to Lil Kim. Let me tell you something. I would have
Correction.
paid you dust, baby. I wouldn't. No picture, smiling.
Nicki did do the Black album. Remember that EP? She had that video with the Nicki doll.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
But
Goodnight.
the
did
difference
black.
is Kim went
She
on
did
wax.
Black Friday. She did
She went on wax like
Friday,
what a
and I
Mhm.
rapper is supposed
quote,
to do.
"Word that be mad because I took the spot. Well, B, if you're not essing, then get off the pot. I have
Mhm.
some ends out in Brooklyn that will off your top." Who she was talking about?
Mhm.
Y'all, people got to. It's like everybody has forgotten everything that she did. Like she used some kind of voodoo or something across everybody across the whole world, and they don't forgot everything that she did to get to the point where she is now. The only thing is that now she dealing with Gen Zs, baby, and they
Mhm.
is a different breed. Okay,
Yes.
they don't care nothing about your homage, girl. You cross me, f your homage. I'll just go to somebody else, which is exactly what Lotto did. Girl, how many times you want me to bow to you? Okay, I done did it 20,000 times before I even came all the way out here and have this hit song. You said no, so I presented it to Mariah. So what's wrong with that? People do that all the time. Writers, you know what I'm saying? Lyricists,
Mhm.
they write music, they present it, and people pass on stuff all the time. But you don't stop trying to sell your product because the first person you go to said no. Nikki told her no 3 different times on 3 different things. She finally, Lotto, got a yes and won with that yes.
And Mariah just played her song at her show and rapped her part. So I know
So
Nikki was like, "Oh my
you can't be mad when people keep pursuing their dream, Nikki, because didn't you?
this girl Lotto been at this since 16. We seen her on TV with Jermaine Dupri, 16 years old,
Yeah,
writing her
and
own,
that's something
writing
that
her. Listen,
Nikki tell all these other girls, get a pen, get a pen. See, she can't tell Lotto that, and that's why she don't like her.
right. But another thing too, a lot of people don't know that Cardi goes under the moniker of Wash Poppin' when she writes. She doesn't go
Mm.
under Cardi B or Belcalis or her real name. She goes under Wash Poppin'. So when you see that
Interesting.
name, when you see
That's
that
her
name,
writing.
that's her writing. Whack 100 just said that when she was in the studio with them, it was just her, Blueface, and him and the producer, and she wrote her whole rap to that song, Tatiana. He said she writes by herself. She
Also,
doesn't.
a lot of people don't realize that Cardi B used to be in you would see her in some videos of battle rappers.
Mhm.
You see her in the background. Like I
Yeah.
saw a few videos of her like with the shorts and the like, like they had like the chicks just hanging out in the background, but she would be
Hmm.
like dead center watching these people battle rap. So I doubt she didn't pick anything up, but because she was
She
continuously
could have.
standing
I
there.
mean, that's a up north thing. Now, I don't. The only time I see anything like that is if
You
I'm
can find it
looking
on
at it on
YouTube.
TV or on YouTube or something like that. Because down here, battle rap wasn't really a thing in Florida or whatever. It was like a up north thing. Usually, stuff do come out up north first, and then it trickle down to the south. But I wouldn't doubt it because she was in the area at that time. She was
Yep.
But you can
right
see
there
the
in the
videos on
center of it
YouTube. They're
all.
still up. Like you see her, like the
Kim
videos don't
sitting back,
even.
smoking blunts, reading the mess. Just
Another thing is Cardi is like, cause I've seen her at at Sin City for years, right? She's a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart, like genuine sweetheart. She likes to have fun. She likes to joke. That's why she won over everybody in the whole Love and Hip Hop franchise because she stayed true to who she really is.
Not only
yeah.
that, people forget how important networking and collaboration is.
She had 1 million followers on Facebook or Instagram before she even was on Love and Hip Hop. That's how she got there. And they deleted her account.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying about the age that we live in now. I haven't heard anybody like Missy Elliott or Queen Latifah or MC Light get mad because these girls can literally blow up overnight because of social media. Well, they don't need a middleman anymore. They don't need to get recognized through a company now. You know what I'm saying? They can start putting their stuff on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Even sampling people's music, which is exactly what Lotto did, and then come up with your own lyrics to show that you can be a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Mhm.
not. I wrote in the comments like maybe 30 minutes ago that rap girls didn't even start that. Like as far back as I can remember, like the 2000s when Justin Bieber came out because he was on YouTube. This
Right.
spans before the rap girl genre, you know what I'm saying?
Well, look what
So,
Soldier Boy did.
and I believe Ariana Grande too, right? She was on,
Mhm.
She was on
she was
Nickelodeon.
on there.
She was
Yeah,
Soldier
on
Boy
Nickelodeon
sold
first as an
a
actress.
it
million dollars
doesn't,
in ringtones with by just going on and changing people's names to changing songs, attaching his ringtones to people's songs. And when you go to click on the song thinking it's the song, it was the ringtone. And he ended up selling $1 million worth of ringtones.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're in the age of technology now, which is something that we didn't have until I was in like middle school, girl. Okay. We didn't even have computers at our house and stuff like that. Cell phones were not invented yet. Yeah, I'm like a dinosaur, I know. But
No,
my
you're an
point
exennial like me.
my
Millennials,
point
we're like
is
a
that
subculture.
this yes, this is easier, but I'm not mad at them because it's easier. It's kind of what it sounds like, with with this one particular artist that we're talking about. But she just need to get with the times. If I were her, I would hang up the leotards and the little stockings with the rhinestones on it. Put them down and pick up that pen and just start writing and doing exactly what Lotto did to her. Hey, I have this dope song. You think you want to be on it? But in this case, do you think you want to rap this? Do you think you want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
Let
She
me point.
she need to
Can I
go
point
another
something
route.
out? Can I point
Yeah.
something out to you too? If you look at Nicki's history in the game, most of her biggest songs were pop songs.
Yes,
Yep. I can
absolutely.
agree with that.
Most of her raps were features on other male artists' songs. She's
Yep.
technically
Monster.
a pop artist.
And if she would just stay in that, okay, so I'm gonna tell you this, right? So my major in college was like, well, I actually had two double major, musical theater and then early childhood education. Listen, when I saw her being theatrical, it sold me because I was like, dang, it's like watching somebody in musical theater, which is another reason why I really loved like Michael
She
Jackson.
went to
I could
school
have
for it. She
yeah,
went
I
to the
know.
biggest school in New York City for that.
Some people can't appreciate or it gets on their nerves when she changes her voice and she goes into character, but that's what an actor does. Nicki Minaj is not Onika.
Right.
Nicki
Little Kim
Minaj
did
is
that
a
too, though.
character.
Little
It's a
Kim used to change
character.
her voice too. She just didn't do it as often as Nicki did. Little Kim did the same thing.
Yeah, and you have to because that's your stage. You know what I'm saying? That's your stage presence. That's your stage name. That's your character. Even Beyonce said she becomes somebody totally different. I don't know if y'all
Sasha
ever met
Fierce.
her in person or seen her out. She's very shy and quiet and reserved. But when she on stage, it's like, hold up now, who that?
They channel. Oh, well, that's a whole nother
That's
conversation
a
for
whole
another
nother
day.
They do
conversation.
that
But
on here.
the point
They
is,
have
is
that
that
combo on here.
they channeling people and things and stuff
That's
and
another
whatnot.
conversation for
But the
another
point is
day.
that they become someone else, which is the
Uh
same
huh.
thing in movies when you see these actors like Viola Davis can't be Viola when she's
Right.
in the help. She needs to be whatever that character is. when this movie the Lion King, girl, stop.
The
The
woman
what
king.
is it? The
The
Woman
woman
King.
king.
She can't be Viola. She's got to be the Woman King who's fierce, who's, you know what I'm saying, out here fighting these men like she is a man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. But you're
You
right
have
because
a
remember Jack
character.
Nicholson. Remember Jack Nicholson told what's his name? The Heath Ledger
Heath
that if
Ledger.
he couldn't to be careful because you get engulfed in that role.
Yeah.
You remember it
And it
happened
can it
when
can be
Michael B. Jordan played
it can be
Killmonger.
hard. Yeah, he had to go
Mhm.
to therapy to get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And if the actor feels like that, just portraying the role, I thought about that when he said that. What does that put in us, like as a spectator, like going to the movies to see
Right.
this stuff? That's why I didn't go see. Y'all about to be like, girl, you trash. But I have not went to go see the Woman King yet because I just refuse. Damn it. To look at us like that. Like I know damn well you weren't around here selling us over here. What?
Yeah, they were still under the rulership of the kings of Dahomey. So
Yeah,
they yeah,
girl, I don't know,
yeah.
child. I'm gonna make it over there. I just ain't did it yet because I just we
I
gonna
mean,
put
I
a
you
movie
know,
together about us. Can we do a positive one that ain't got nothing to do with slavery? Can we just be heroes and stuff and just like in um Black Panther? Can we just be like these mythical creatures and stuff that can turn into panthers? And we have like all these amazing things that makes our weapons better. Like I guess what I'm saying is I'm over the whole when it's a whole all black cast that it has to be about slavery or being the maid or
right.
the help. Like,
Because
no,
they're trying to
nah.
reinforce, they're trying to it's a MK Ultra tactic and it's worked on our people because if you actually really just do some studying yourself outside of academia, you'll find some interesting things because a lot of our people were here already and
Okay,
they
y'all,
stole.
I have to cut this conversation because people saying you're going off track. How
Okay.
did this topic switch to movies and stuff?
Well, you're right,
Camille, I
though.
just wanted to bring up something that bothers me with Nicki, and it's the lack of growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's the difference between her and Jay Z and Queen Latifah and Eve and many others.
Right.
Like, I'm not even talking about music wise. I'm talking about character wise. Like, there's no growth. Like, you figure somebody who's been able to travel around the world and experience things that most people in their lifetime could only dream of could change them. And she's still the exact same person as 10 years ago, potentially
Mm-hmm.
worse.
Right.
And that's what frustrates me because Queen Latifah was in the game for a long time. Like, we're gonna go back and we're gonna compare female rappers to female rappers. Queen Latifah was in the game for a long time. She brought in Naughty by Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
At some point, she realized, like, you know what? I can't do this rap thing no more. Started going to acting and started going into other ventures. Even
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z, started investing, started putting his hands in multiple pots and stuff like that. Now we could all argue on the back end if all of it was, ethical. I'll leave it at
Right.
that. But like the point being that he is a multimillionaire for a reason.
Eve did the same thing. Remember when she left the rap game, she had her own show.
But that's what
Yep.
I was saying about what
Mhm.
10 or 15 minutes ago. The problem is she's still trying to be in the spotlight for rap when she didn't grow. It's time to do something else, even if it is
So
right behind the scenes like Missy Elliott does.
Y'all, I have
yeah,
a
and
question. So I saw somebody in the chat saying, with the whole situation with how Nicki came at Lil Kim when when she first came in the industry, that there was nothing wrong with that because that's how it's rap. Rap is supposed to be like
Competitive.
you're talking your shit, right? You're competitive, and they're saying there's nothing wrong with Nicki doing that. So I'm just like I'm curious what you all think about that because now it's take Latto for example. She's talking her shit. She's saying she's on certain levels. Why is it a problem for Latto? But people are saying that's what rappers are supposed to do.
But it
People
is.
are
But
That's
bringing
why.
nobody
out
was
key
nobody was
Can I
things.
doing that before.
can I say something? Okay, I'm a little ancient here. I was 6 years old when the first hip hop record hit wax. Okay, so I've watched rap evolve. I've been to the jams in the park that they used to talk about. Rap has always been about being competitive. Some of these rap beefs, like LL Cool J and Cool Mo D, that was real shit, right? But they really just kept it on wax. So she could have been competitive, but she was very disrespectful.
Hmm.
There's another thing too.
And for no
Remember in the
reason, like I
90s?
said, go watch that interview with Remy Ma. None of those rap girls before her were doing anything like what she was doing. And that's what the problem was. Like, girl, why are
All of
you
these
doing
rap
all of this?
females did songs together. All of them. Little Kim even put Angie Martinez on a song. Like they all did stuff together. Queen
Also, I want to
Latifah,
bring up
even
something
them.
else. In the 90s, a term called biters.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're from the tri-state area, you know the term biter.
Right.
What was a biter? Someone that was copying somebody else.
That's why I never liked Nicki Minaj, to be honest. I always
And
thought she was a
that's
gimmick
why heads especially have a problem with when Nicki Minaj came out because she was disrespecting Little Kim while
while talking
biting
her
her
style.
style and look at the same time.
Everything.
Girl, she wasn't biting it. She was just swallowing it whole.
Yeah,
Boom.
because how did her fans become, like you said, somebody said earlier, Little Kim is the original Barbie. And the other night on Twitter, they put these comparison lyrics together. She
Oh,
has
I watched that
been
video.
right. She has
Everything
her.
Kim did.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm talking about it wasn't right. Nikki will wait like what was it like 2 or 3 years, or some of them were even
She
like
didn't have to
10
wait.
years
Those were
apart.
songs,
She went ahead and just did. I'm talking about
right.
not
Those were
only
songs
feeling
that
her
Kim had out.
style, Camille, but she
Hmm.
also took her lyrics.
Lyrics.
You
Yeah.
have to watch that video, and it
Yeah.
ain't no denying it.
And these are songs that was out way before little Nicki
One
Minaj
of
was ever
them,
an
the
artist.
earliest one I saw was 2003. Kim did
Hmm.
a song, and then Nicki came along. What was it like 2011? So I guess, yeah, many many years later,
It goes
and
a
it was
little
like
further back
word for
than
word,
that.
and then she'll put her
Hmm.
own stuff in, and then take some more of Kim's lyrics. Like what?
Hmm.
But back then, everybody was mad at Kim. Like, girl, what you mad for? She ain't did nothing. But somebody sat down, put every photo together side by side,
Yeah.
all of the songs and lyrics together side by
Hmm.
side. Ma'am, you basically tried to make us all forget about Lil Kim, and then you came in like this robot, like this machine that was just
Hmm.
gonna be, repackaged as Nicki Minaj, but
But Little Kim
you
said it in her
challenging Lil Kim.
song. Little Kim said it in her song. Check your posters and videos. You'll always be number two.
But also, play slight devil's advocate here, this tactic is not new in the music industry. This is par for the course. This has been done going back to the Motown days and even before then. You know, I don't know why Nicki thought that she was going to be the outlier, be any different. She was part of the game. The system wanted somebody new, especially because Kim was about to go to jail and she was getting older. And especially in rap, they want young, they don't want older.
Right.
So now this is happening to her, and she's not liking the treatment because she, I think, is starting to realize you're old now. And look, I'm 40. I'm the same age as her, so
I'm 40
I
years
admit
well.
that I'm old.
I just
You know?
turned 40 in June. Like,
Yeah.
girl, if you don't sit down somewhere so your knees can have a break and let them little girls jump around and dance, you write the music because everybody know that the writer makes more money than the artist. Okay, the artists
And
have
I'm
been
not
saying
saying that
that for
she's gonna have a
years.
career because of her age. Because look at Cher. Cher is damn near 80 years old. If she comes out with an album tomorrow, people are buying it.
But that's
But
different though. The average time span for a rapper is 10 years. But
I
you
don't
got
agree. I don't agree with that. Like
Me either.
her age somehow disqualifies her from being in rap. I think as long as you have a market, you have a fan base who are supporting you, you can be in rap as long as you want. I don't think, when people bring up her age, it's because they're trying to age shame her or anything. There is nothing wrong with being 40. All of us are going to get to 40 at some point if we aren't already there. The fact is, for her age, why people keep bringing up her age in the discussion is because
because it's America and they
But
petty
no,
like
it's
that.
not that. It's her
she does not
maturity level. She
behave
hasn't matured.
exactly. She doesn't behave as someone, with that kind of experience and maturity. She behaves like a 20 something year old who hasn't, really had life experiences and learned from them and stuff. She doesn't act her age. So I think that's why people keep throwing her age into the discussion. It's not to say, okay, well, you're old. It's to say you're too old to be behaving the way that you are behaving.
Right.
And we all agree with that.
and that's kind of what I was saying before was that there's not evolving of any kind, and that's the problem. She's stagnant, and that's why people keep bringing up her age, because I'm not saying that she has to rhyme about, oh, I'm washing dishes and changing diapers, but you are still rhyming about the exact same stuff as 10, 15 years ago. You
Hmm.
have nothing new to say. Nothing.
Rap
You
is just
literally
different.
traveled the world.
Mm-hmm.
You've gotten accolades. I don't know if you guys seen, what was it, the Wireless Festival, where
Mm-hmm.
like fans came out and like for hours, like it was almost a stampede. I thought that it was gonna be another Travis Scott situation because of how many
Oh, where
people
she
showed
didn't
up.
want she wanted them to get their phones and cameras and stuff out of her face. That one.
Yeah, but there were some people wilding. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
there were some people wilding at that festival, and post pandemic, some people do not know, they don't have couth. So I'm not even
True.
gonna blame her on that.
So
But
we
it's
we
like,
can agree that she can sell out an arena, but what music execs and stuff want to see is not just that. The problem is she'll get now besides like Super Freaky Girl, she'll get on the chart, but she's not staying there.
That song was trash.
And the reason is that she's not moving with the times and the people, meaning the Gen Zs or whatever, they want something new, something fresh. They want a
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B, they want a Meg the Stallion, they want WAP, they want all this stuff that, my age, I can't be walking around work singing WAP. You see what I'm saying?
But
They
they
can be
even
at
tried to.
school in the hallways doing that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I don't know, girl. It's
They
just,
even tried to bring up MC Hammer because he sampled Super Freak, and she
yeah,
was
for
like,
Rick James.
they his was considered a rap song too. So what? Like it's like, girl, all right, we all know that you're bigger in the pop genre. You're bigger there. Stay there.
I
Stay
would
in
stay
your
in
lane.
I would stay in my lane too. I don't care what you call it. Can I get a Grammy?
Honestly, you know how like Drake and Beyonce have been doing the whole house era? Nicki could have done a lot with that. Like,
I
seriously.
mean, Beyonce
Like,
came in out of nowhere and was like, "Girl, get this, get this album." And I have
Mhm.
house music. Who would have thought that music like that would have blew up the way that it did? But she just sat back for some years and worked with people and collabed and just came out and shook the
but that's the
entire
problem. She doesn't like
internet.
to collab, especially
Some
with
right.
women.
She don't. She don't.
Because
It's
That's the
only
if
when
she would have
they.
problem.
played her cards right, she could have won with Cardi. But no, she want to be somewhere throwing shoes and fighting and acting crazy. She could have won with Cardi if she would have did it right. Jealousy is a horrible thing. It'll knock you right out of your spot. Nobody, it's not that these girls are knocking her out of her spot. She knocking herself out
Right.
because she doesn't know how to work well with others. Nobody wants to be on your team because you're a mean girl.
These girls have been her. These girls are her fans because they had no other rappers to listen to, female rappers to listen to when they were growing up. So
And
they
if you
only
think about
listened
that,
to them.
think about what you just said. Imagine that. Imagine fantasizing over meeting like your favorite artist. Your favorite artist, like, man, I was 11 years old. I remember I dressed just like you, just so that I could go
Mhm.
get your CD. And then you finally meet her, and she's this
That's
Yeah.
traumatic,
why that's why
traumatic.
I hope I never meet any of the celebrities that I'm fans of. Leave me, let me just have a picture in my head of who I think they are, okay? Because I don't know if I could handle meeting somebody who I look up to and admire and just to realize, whoa, you're a horrible
Yeah.
person.
But
I
there,
mean, I couldn't imagine, but see, the only person that I was like fangirling over like that, baby, forever was the Whitney Houston, and that's it. But
oh my God, Mary
I
J.
would probably, cause like as a little girl, my mom listened to her a lot, and I loved her voice. She was just there was no
Mhm.
gimmicks. She had a gown on. She stood in front of that mic, and she just sang. She just delivered. There was no gimmick. There was no, you know what I'm saying, extravagant makeup and hairdos and dancing. She just stood there and sang.
They gave her a gimmick. They gave her the good girl image until she showed who she really
In
was. That's
other words, she
it.
didn't have the. In other words, she didn't have the crazy hair.
No,
There was
she
no
didn't.
smoke and mirrors, and I mean, she was just authentically the voice of
Mhm.
our generation. I
Mhm.
cannot imagine meeting her and then being treated like that. So
Also,
Mm-mm.
I think all this
actually,
like
I
anger.
feel bad for Lotto, man. Like, dang.
And she really evil. She really what made me feel bad for Lotto. She made me want to be her cousin, right? Her big cousin, because when she was talking on the phone with her, she still was trying to be respectful.
She did better than me. Cause
She
baby,
did. She did way better
this
than me.
80s baby right here would have been throwing hands. She did real good because my patience is thin with age, baby. The older I get, the less patience I have. I don't got all that
I just
patience that
don't.
she had. But I
I don't.
understand why Lotto did it though, because
Yeah.
that was her idol, and maybe her parents taught her to respect her elders. See, Nikki not my elder; she my equal. Actually, I'm older than her by 6 months.
I just
But
don't
people
like
are
that they took a
saying,
picture of this girl's mother coming out of work and sent it to her, talking about this your mother, right? Coming from work, right?
That's
Like,
wild. See
wow.
that's where it gets bad.
mm-hmm.
Like,
Because
why y'all doing all of that? It's
that's
so
where you
dangerous.
that's where I catch you slipping, right? Because it's
But
like,
she's not chastising either.
she's not.
She
No, what
never
she does.
chastised
Let me
these
tell you what she
behaviors.
does. Let me tell you what she does. When they start threatening people and doxing people and stuff, she goes and likes their comment and then starts
Do you know how
following
many
them.
people she's done to that in the past 2 months? Not even half of the year. 2 months. She did it to the girl that has the channel for Harriet first.
Hmm.
Then she did it to Nosy Ho, and now they following Lotto Mama around. Like, it's
Hmm.
insane. It is. I mean, it's given, baby. You
Are
need
y'all
a couch
sure
and a
that
therapist,
are y'all
huh?
sure that was her mother? Because I would like to think somebody, with the level of fame as Lato, her mother is not just walking around randomly without security or
She
anything
was
like that. Are
coming
y'all
out of
sure?
work. She was coming out of work.
But here's the thing, people that have regular lives, they don't just
Right.
walk around with security and stuff like that. That's the same thing that Cardi B was yelling at
About her
people saying
father.
when they were following her father.
Hmm.
Cardi is the star, not her dad. Like, I didn't even know what her daddy looked like until I saw that video of her yelling at people, like recording her. That was when she first started going through everything with TK.
Right.
And she did what she did and all the things. And then these people are now following her family. But
Right.
before that, you never saw them. They
And
didn't need
Lotto
security.
fame is just brand new. It's like brand new. Like, so she probably didn't get to that level where she feels her family needs to have security or whatever. Like,
Also, not
it's
sure if you guys remember when 50 Cent did that to DJ Khaled's mother. Had
right.
someone record DJ Khaled's mother sleeping while she was on the job.
50 Cent been wilding for years. He another one.
Yeah,
Bully.
50 Cent is crazy. I mean,
Well, these
his
antics have been
whole
going on
thing
for a
is,
while.
yeah, 50 Cent whole thing is like, I don't know. Again, you're not,
I really
coming
just
up.
want them to give. Can they just give her what is it called? Just give her a constellation prize. Hand this woman a Grammy so she can just stop.
She won't.
Just stop.
She didn't want a
She
Grammy.
won't.
She said that there will be no black women in hip hop. There will be no black women in rap. I don't want a Grammy. I want this. This is the machine is doing this. But now you want a Grammy because of why? I don't get it.
She tripping because if Missy Elliott wrote something right now and dropped it, I know I'll be there because Missy Elliott, man,
Hmm.
listen,
Okay,
the
y'all.
creep
So I'm gonna kick
idiocy.
all of y'all off now
All
because
right,
of
Okay.
what
bye.
we said. So thank you for joining us and having this discussion. Um, I just wanna address a couple things people were asking during the live. I think it was I jotted it down to remember, but I can't remember who it was. Somebody had asked me if I was still gonna do the Tasha K documentary. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I feel like it's still I'd like to do it from start to finish. I don't want to have to come back and do a part 2 and a part 3, so I'm going to wait until like it's all done until Cardi B gets her money. That will probably never happen at this rate, but I'd like it to be like a complete story from beginning to end. I don't want to have to chop it up into pieces. So I'll wait a while and see how it plays out. Um Somebody said they sent me an Instagram request. I have many. I'm not even really active on there. So you will have to tell me what's your name to accept it. Because I have a lot of bobs like waiting. I don't know why they send me requests. And it's like you can tell it's bobs because of their handle has something to do with Minaj or Bobby or some shit. And I have like 100 of them waiting to be accepted. And I'm like, you're not serious. But you will have to tell me what the name is because I'll have to go through to see to accept it. But you're not really missing anything much not being on there because I barely post. I only have it so people could DM me. What else did I write down? Oh, that was adjusting my crown says add me on IG. I have the same name. Okay, let me look for it. Um, 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 adjusting my crown. Okay. Okay, I accepted it. But like I said, my IG is very boring. I barely post anything on there. Um, what else? What else? Oh, who was it who blessed us with the word of the night? Behooves. I think I'm going to change the title of this live to "We're Behooved." That was my favorite word tonight. That and then Kuta. Y'all are crazy. Oh my goodness! But yes, we're all behooved tonight. And she said it. You know what makes it funny? She said it with so much passion, like I am just behooved. So that's the word of the night. What else did I want to address? Oh, somebody had said something about the Grammys. Why why Nicki has never won one, and it was just an interesting point to me because they made the point that, and I remember thinking that when it happened. I think that was last year's Grammys where they had like a dance hall category and Spice was nominated, but she didn't win. And the Grammy went to a group of like a group of white men. There's no other way to describe them. And everybody was like, how could this group of white men win a dance hall category? Dance hall is a Jamaican thing. It's a black thing. It's kind of like a slap in the face to give a dance hall award when you have so many, Jamaican artists nominated in the same category. You give the award to a group of white men. And the person made an interesting point, and they said it's because um the Grammys they don't look at who has more fans, who has a bigger fan base, what song went number one, which one was higher on Billboard. They actually look at the mechanics of the song. And before, I had never heard of this group before, but after that whole controversy, I actually went and listened to some of their music, and I can honestly tell you, I can see why they won. Their music is like, I don't want to be offensive, but it's like Spice. Her music is, it's catchy, it's fun and stuff, but it's often very vulgar. The lyrics are very, it's nothing deep. It's just a bunch of, like as Thomas said, it's a bunch of kuta stuff. So, but these guys, when you listen to their music, it actually, to people who are, in that culture, it might sound boring to them. But if you actually listen to the substance of the music, what they're singing about, like the lyrics, and really get into the depth of it, I can honestly see why they won. So it's like the Grammys probably take all that into consideration. It's not a popularity contest. They look at the mechanics of the song, they look at everything. So I feel like even though Nicki's very popular, she has this huge fan base. She has, the record sales, the billboards, and all of that. The Grammys look at the actual construction of the songs, the content. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of to describe it. But yeah, I wanted to address that because that person had a really good point to me. What else did I want to talk about before I get off of here? Somebody also made the point that all these girls, these young new rap girls, had been in Nicki's DMs, like, you know, trying to work with her, showing her love, praising her, and she ignored them all. And now, now that competition is stiff, and she's trying to, like, build this like, I hate Cardi army. It's like she's trying to build this group of girls to be on her side in this war. Now she's starting to respond to them. And yeah, somebody made that point that, but you were ignoring them for years when they were in your DMs reaching out. I think it happened with Bia, it happened with Katie got bands. Um Even the latest one with Ice Spice, when she posted that all these girls were Bobs, when she checked her DMs, it's like, these girls have been reaching out to you for years and you didn't, pay them any mind. But now that you want their support in your war, all of a sudden she's, responding to them. So it just comes off as very disingenuous. It doesn't come off as real support for them. And what else did I want to address? Right, there was a whole discussion going on in the chat about pure sales, and people were talking about Nicki's pure sales are very high and stuff. But I wanted to make the point that in this particular era, the streaming era, pure sales, actually, no, that's not the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make was that artists don't make um you know the bulk of their money from pure sales. They make the bulk of their money from endorsement deals and movies and all these other stuff they have going on the side. Because to me, it's like, I remember Chloe Bailey talked about it recently, where she said, you like you put all this money into making a song, hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay producers. If you have a video, you have to have, you have to pay people who's making the video, dancers, whoever is involved in that whole process. And then selling the song for like $1.69 on iTunes or wherever cannot possibly recuperate, like, not recuperate, recoup the money that you spent in making that song. And she was talking about, artists don't make, the substantial amount of money from actual pure sales. They use their fame from music to do other, like, businesses and get deals and stuff like that. So it's from those things that they make the bulk of their money. So when I hear people like harping on, she has the biggest pure sales this, pure sales that, that's great and all. But these other girls who they're making fun of, who don't have, that level of pure sales, they have Reebok deals. Cardi has Playboy. She has whip shots, her own products, all these things. So you're laughing at, okay, your pure sales are low, but look at how many other things she's doing that she's making millions off of. So I just wanted to make that point that, the whole pure sales argument to me is like, it's irrelevant. And yeah, my last point, I saved this for last because it was hilarious. I don't know who it was. I don't know if they're still in here, but this person said, it's a lot of trutheration and facteration in this behoovery. And it reminded me of Mary J. Blige's song where she said, let me sing it for y'all how it went through my head. Um, it's a lot of trutheration, facteration, and this behoovery. And it cracked me up. So yeah, I wanted to end on that note. Whoever the hell that was, I don't know if they're still in here, but thank you. That made my night. Somebody said Josh J. Josh J said that was the Jeffrey guy. Is he still in here? I wanted him to know that made my night. That was the soundtrack to this behoovery. So anyway, y'all, thank you for hanging out with me tonight again. And yeah, that's it. Go to bed, all of y'all. Good night.